Hello. Brooke, can you hear me? Looks like Pete can see us. Hello, Pete. How are you doing?
My
How's your
mic isn't
Sunday?
not on.
Oh, your mic's on now. How are you doing, Pete? Nice to
Yes.
see you. So, what are we
Hi,
doing?
Keo.
Hi, Keo. I can't see you in my chat, but hi, Keo. Good to see you.
um, on my end, we're going to be gathering and then baking in Palia. And everybody that doesn't know, Jersey Girl Bread Shop is my sister. On her channel, she bakes vegan goods, mostly bread, and she has a cottage bakery in Jersey.
And for those of you who don't know, all of you probably know in my chat, unless there's some newbies here, X Pumpkin is my sister, and she plays video games. A lot of you know because I talk about her specifically because she helped me do this, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. So she plays Palia sometimes, but I believe she mostly plays Toontown and Animal Crossing. And lately, I've noticed she's been playing Baldur's Gate and Final Fantasy. So if you're interested, hi to Bear Fan, welcome back, welcome back. So if you're
Hello to
interested,
Bear Fan.
follow my sister. But here we are for a sister stream. So, and we have Fig here. Fig's my son. So, I want to show you what we have here. Those of you who were here this morning, I started early. It was a little quiet stream this morning, but that's okay. I know some of you are sleeping. But I believe the Bear Fan was here this morning, and some of the other people might have been here. So it's almost risen. I think I wanted to rise a little bit more before I shape it. So,
Hi, Alex.
but you can see here how big it is compared to this morning. It's huge compared to this morning. So, so this morning all we did was we mixed the dough, and then we did some stretch and folds. And I actually have a high inoculation here, which just means I added a lot of starter to the initial mix so it would rise faster. That's why I took a 2-hour break and then we're back and it's almost done. Maybe it's a little cold today because last time I did it, it was like way done by the time it was 2 hours. So, but that's okay because we got on a little late, not really late, but like I have technical problems. So, of course, we got on a little late, but Brooke helped us fix them. So, X Pumpkin, what are you gathering in the corner there?
I'm gardening right now so that we have stuff so we can go cook. My friend Sarah worked so hard getting her paleo kitchen ready for us.
So
We're going to.
How does paleo work?
What's up?
How does paleo work?
It's an MMO, so it is online.
Okay.
Not open world, but it is online. You can farm, you can go gather, you can fish. Then you have a little house. I don't play enough, so I have a garbage house. This is my house. My food's on the floor. So we're gonna get a bunch of ingredients, and then we're gonna go cook at Sarah's house.
Okay.
Are you guys being toony in chat right now?
I don't know. Are we being toony, guys? I see a chef, a chef hat. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So how is everyone doing today? For those of you who were here this morning, you heard we were having a great chat about the history of food. And I did find the article, so I'll link the article. I put it on Discord, which, by the way, I don't think Pete was here for this. We have the Nightbot now, which my sister helped me get. So we have the Nightbot now. So if you are so inclined, I know Oh My God Pete was interested in Discord. So I have the link to the Discord in the chat. And the way I have it set up is essentially it's for you guys to share your, whatever you bake. It doesn't have to be something we baked. Yeah. Oh my God, Pete says nice. It doesn't have to be something we bake together. It could be anything that you are baking. And Keo says, feels okay, man. What feels okay? Being in the chat? I think it would feel great. What is it?
He said it feels okay.
Well, that's an unclear. That's an that pronoun has an unclear predecessor, antecedent, unclear antecedent. So what is it? But yeah,
in general, just it.
Just general life stuff. I don't know. Keo says, I don't know about this one, Chief. About what? What don't you know about? But so it's set up so the Discord is set up so you can like post your, whatever you baked. I even have a savory section. If you want to, post like something savory that you made. I have, sections where you can ask for feedback. I have sections where you can just post pictures without any feedback. Right now, I mean, there are a few people who are posting pictures, and I'm very happy, and I'm glad that you guys are finding utility in it, but it's still pretty new, so it's a little slow, but, it'll grow with time if you guys find it useful. And let me know if you have any suggestions about things that should be on there. But, yeah, feel free to join. I know... what happened?
Lagging.
Oh, you're lagging?
Is that no, I'm good. It's okay. I'm good.
Is that from the streaming?
No, Paley's just wonky. I actually think I'm going to restart it.
Oh, it's just
that's
Palea.
Okay.
Okay, restarting Palea, that's okay. We'll get back to that. Very important. I don't know what she's doing. She's gardening right now, and then she's going to be cooking. But before I forget, let me put that link in the chat. So I was talking about this earlier, and I also put it in the Discord. And if you guys are already in the Discord, you might have seen it already. And I love this article so much. I'm so happy I remembered it when we were talking earlier. It doesn't mention ciabatta by name, but it mentions a lot of other great Italian dishes. And it's called Everything I, an Italian, Thought I Knew About Italian Food is Wrong. And it's from the Financial Times. And it says, from panettone to tiramisu, many classics are in fact recent inventions, as Alberto Grandi has shown. So this is what I was talking about earlier. And it's not just, I was saying it's not just Italian food, it's a lot of other foods are like this as well, where we place a lot of cultural identity on the food, even if the food is relatively recent. So let's see. What's some examples? They gave some really, really good examples. So let's see.
Hi, Sarah, and hi, Gabe.
So does everyone know what panettone is? I might be pronouncing it wrong. Panettone. It's a bread. It's a sweet bread, and it's a Christmas bread. Hi, Cody. And it comes, like it's huge. It's like round like this, and it comes like in a wrapping paper, and it has like a bun. And so if you don't know what it is, look up panettone. Let me put it in the chat. It's also in the article. But basically, the article, this is just one example. The article says that before the 20th century, panettone was a thin, hard flatbread filled with a handful of raisins. It was only eaten by the poor and had no links to Christmas. Right? And it says that in the 1920s, which is about 100 years ago, I was saying a lot of this is in the past 100 years. Angelo Moda of the Moda food brand introduced a new dough recipe that started the tradition of a dome-shaped panettone. Brooke, you know what a panettone is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what it is. Okay. Then in the 1970s, faced with growing competition from supermarkets, independent bakeries began making dome-shaped panettones themselves. And then he wrote, after a bizarre backwards journey, panettone finally came to what it had never previously been, an artisanal product. So basically, like before the 1920s, it was like a flatbread that was hard and had some raisins in it. And now it's a very enriched dough, like with eggs and milk and butter and all that good stuff. Lots and lots of raisins. It's very sweet, and it's made for Christmas. Excuse me, Fig.
Welcome in, Valentino's.
Welcome in, Valentino.
Talia is going good. I'm here streaming with my sister as well. We're just gathering some things. Probably gonna do a little hunting on Palia. So we can start cooking.
We're gonna be cooking. Keo, this might be on the test, so you better study up. I'm just saying, I think it's really interesting that these foods are actually not like that old. They're not that old. And this article, go through this article maybe later when we're waiting for this to our ciabatta to do its final proof. We can look at more examples from the article, but this article is so cool. It's so good. So I was saying earlier, this is how the conversation started. Ciabatta is also fairly recent. I should have looked up when it was invented. But basically, it was invented because in Italy, a lot of people were eating baguettes. Baguettes were really popular. And of course, baguettes are French, and some Italians did not like that. Italian people were eating French food. They wanted their own cultural cuisine, their own cultural bread. And so the ciabatta was a rival to the baguette, essentially. It was invented to be a rival to the baguette. So when I looked up, I even looked up earlier, I was trying to find that article, and I thought maybe they mentioned ciabatta in the article. Unfortunately, they didn't. But everything when I was looking up ciabatta was like, oh, traditional Italian bread. And it's like, how, it's fairly modern. It's not that traditional. It's not like hundreds of years old or anything like that. Okay, look at this, guys. Look at this. Just while we were talking for like 15 minutes, it's risen quite a bit. Oh my god, Pete joined Discord. Thank you, Pete, for joining Discord. I hope you find it useful because, it's for you. It's for you. So yeah, it's risen quite a bit. I think we're going to start shaping it soon. You see, that's where we want it to be. We want it to get all the way to the top where it's almost touching. Like when I put the lid on, it should be almost touching the lid. Right? So it's maybe a few more minutes. It's almost there. Right? And this is a 2.5
I have quite a bit.
bowl. What kind of foods do we have, Brooke, in your basket?
Oh my gosh, I have way more than I thought I did. I have some butter, I have some meat, I have tomatoes and eggs and carrot. Keo reminded me I have to eat before I do things.
It's just
I don't
like
play
real
this
life.
game too often.
It's like real life. You have to eat before you do things. You might faint or something. What happens?
I have some spicy rice cakes.
What happens if you don't eat? Do you faint in the game?
No, you just don't get as much like experience doing the thing that you're doing.
Oh.
Thank you for the hydrate, Gabe. I don't have water, but I will drink some coffee.
Drink some coffee, Brooke. Don't faint in real life.
I will.
So, oh my god, Pete asked, is shaping the same as kneading? Shaping is not the same as kneading. So, kneading is when you are building the gluten in the dough. In this dough, I actually didn't knead it at all. I just did stretch and folds instead of kneading, which will help build the gluten. That's just when I pick up a part of the dough and I fold it over. And I do that almost every time I make bread. I do stretch and folds. So if you go back to, I even have clips of me doing stretch and folds. That might be the best way to find them. Now, I do knead sometimes. Like I kneaded the bagel dough, and you'll see me going into the bagel dough and kneading it like that. But now shaping is when your dough is done rising, and you're gonna put it into the shape you want the bread to be. I have some clips of me shaping as well. But honestly, for the ciabatta, not even honestly, actually, for the ciabatta, we're not really doing much shaping. The ciabatta, you kind of just plop it, and you'll see in a few minutes, we're just going to plop it down onto our surface, where I'm going to generously flour or everything's going to stick. It's because ciabatta bread is very sticky. The dough is very sticky. Not the finished bread, but the dough is sticky. And I'm going to cut it into two, and then I'm going to let it rest in this towel, and that's how you're going to get those quintessential lines on the ciabatta from it resting in the towel. So yeah, kneading is the first part where you're building the gluten, and then shaping is at the end when it's done rising and you get it into the shape you want the bread to be. And ciabatta, you don't really shape it too much. You kind of plop it down. Like focaccia, you don't really shape focaccia, for example. You plop it down into what you're going to bake it in, and then you dimple it, but you don't really shape it. But if you look at some of my loaves that I've made, like, for example, the mango loaf I shaped, the country loaf I shaped, I have some clips of me shaping. So yeah. But today, we're doing ciabatta, which it's Brooke's or Pumpkin's favorite bread, she told me. Brooke, what do you like about ciabatta? What's your favorite thing about it?
I don't know. I just like it.
She likes it. I mean,
it's good.
It's crusty, so that's good.
Yeah.
And it's pretty light and airy, so that's good too. It's similar to a baguette, but also different. Different enough.
Sarah, do you have rice? You can make rice cake stir fry.
A baguette. Kia, what does that mean? I think you're speaking a different language in the chat. A baguette? Oh,
nice.
Baguette. Okay. Yeah, it's like a baguette. Or a baguette. So, you guys are so impressed, and so I know Brooke is impressed too that I have the Nightbot lurking in my chat now. So I have a question of the day that I gave to you guys earlier, and I told you guys to think about it. I did not give you my answer yet because I don't want to sway your opinion either way. So my question of the day... Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's okay. Try it like this. So my question of the day... There's my bot. So my question of the day is a burrito a sandwich? And I know this has nothing to do with ciabatta, but it's... Oh, thank you, Tokyo Rose, for subscribing. Don't spend all your money in one place. Jeez. But no, thank you very much for subscribing. So my question of the day is a burrito a sandwich? And I asked this question to my good friend, Paper Paws and Whiskers, which, let's see, shout out. She also streams, so I'll shout her out. Brooke says no. That's one vote for no. I think it's Paws and Whiskers. Yeah. So she streams too. Everyone says no.
It's not a sandwich.
She streams too, and she streams diamond painting and her crafts that she does. If you're interested. So Meowjin says no. Tokyo Rose says absolutely not. Kyo says yes. Pumpkin says no. So I think it's a sandwich, okay? Because I think if you put things between bread or in bread, then it's a sandwich. And I have not been convinced that tortilla is not bread. Okay, no one has convinced me of that yet, that tortilla is not bread.
Do people say it's not bread?
Alex, Paper Paws and Whiskers was saying it wasn't bread. And then I asked her, okay, then why is roti, which is like an Indian flatbread, also not yeasted? Why is that considered bread and a tortilla isn't? For the sake of argument, I'm talking about a flour tortilla. Although I might argue that a corn tortilla is also kind of a bread, but let's just say it's a flour tortilla. Yeah, tortilla is similar to naan, except naan is yeasted. Roti is not yeasted. Roti is made almost the same as a flour tortilla. Changed my mind. I have looked at recipes. They're so similar. Tokyo Rose says, isn't pita also called pita bread? Pita is also yeasted, but it's similar in some ways. It is bread. They're all bread. Changed my mind. No, Mattress Demon, you're right. Tortilla and naan are different, but tortilla and roti are very similar. But I agree because naan is at least yeasted. Meow Jin says, my reasoning is that the rice is the main carb of a burrito, and the main carb of a sandwich is the bread with whatever filling you want. So Meow Jin is making her distinction, right? It's the carb source that makes it. So let's say I made, I have 2 pieces of bread, and I put pasta between the 2 pieces of bread. And I put pasta between the 2 pieces of bread. Would that be a sandwich?
Okay.
Would that be a sandwich?
Confirm. All right, let's get cooking.
So Tokyo
Why can't I add it?
Says, maybe this is why we differ. I always ask for no rice in my burritos. So Tokyo Rose, if you ask for no rice, is it a sandwich then? Because Meowjin said their difference was the carb source. And Meowjin says, this is not a sandwich, that is a monstrosity. But, I mean, it's not a good sandwich, but is it a sandwich? Is it a sandwich? Is my question. I have not been convinced, but you guys can keep trying to convince me. One day I'll be convinced. Okay, so see how much it's risen? Let's put it this way. It's almost to the top. So we can try starting to shape it now. It's very... Another way to tell that it's done, I'm sure you've seen sourdough bakers do this. I don't think I've ever done this with you, but it gets really...
It's not letting me.
She can't cook.
Sarah doesn't let me add things.
So it gets really jiggly when it's done. You can see here. So that's just all the air bubbles in it that's making it jiggly like that. It's not the best way to tell it's done because, I mean, I think it gets a little jiggly even before it's, you know, all the way ready to go to start shaping. But that's one way. The dough does look different. It looks puffy. It's a little domed on top. You can tell that it's done. So I'm going to start shaping it. And by shaping, I kind of just mean plopping it down and cutting it in half. I'm going to flour my surface. Let's see if you guys... Oh, wrong way. I don't know my left from my right when we're on the OBS. It's going to be sticky. Flour your hands too.
Oh my gosh.
Put this somewhere. Okay. Now that I just plopped it down, so you guys can see, I just plopped it down. I'm going to make 2 ciabattas, so I'm going to try to get this into like a square shape.
You're in trouble.
And notice I'm really being gentle with the dough. I'm not shaping it too much. Pumpkin, why are we in trouble?
We ruined the food.
What'd you do?
We weren't fast enough.
Well, luckily it's just virtual food. Yeah, let's see. I need to be able to see. So I'm going to even flour my bench scraper. This is a bench scraper.
Thank you for the sub pocket. Okay, we'll give you a minute. I'll sit in this pretty chair.
Are you waiting for Sarah?
Yeah, she's fixing her kitchen.
So in Palia, do you like have to build your own kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You start off with just a plot of grass.
So it's like Animal Crossing, but extreme.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this in half. It's okay if they're not perfectly even. They're not going to be. Sticky, sticky, sticky. I'm gonna create a line with the flour.
Okay, let's try again. Okay. Maybe we'll start with something easier. Yes, always click high quality.
Okay. So you see what we have here? So we have two long rectangles. I'm going to try not to pop any bubbles. You want to be gentle with the dough and really not touch it too much. So now that I have these two rectangles, put this away. Actually, no, I'm going to still need flour.
Aw. You changed a lot with your house, Sarah. It looks really nice.
Sarah's Palia house looks really nice.
Let's make mushroom dumpling soup.
Mattress Demon says, what if I don't want to be gentle? That's a good question. So if you don't want to be gentle with the dough, I would make a different type of dough. You can make bagels. You can be really rough with bagels and you won't ruin them. With this dough, you want to be gentle because you want the bubbles to stay big. I don't want to pop anything here. Normally, I wouldn't mind popping some of the bigger bubbles, but here I'm going to leave them to be big. Excuse me, Fig. I'm going to have to move Fig eventually. For now, it's okay, but I like having him here, though. I might move him to the window and get Parsley here, because Parsley's smaller, but I just like Fig. But he can't be touching my baked goods. It's not right. But yeah, we're going to be gentle because we want to keep the big bubbles intact. To make the bread airy. So I'm going to really flour this up. And then you'll see what we're doing with this.
Wait.
For now, I'm just really going to flour it up.
I'm stuck too. Me neither. Is Palia bug today?
Is that, what are you trying to chop, a leek or something? Looks like a leek.
Yeah, it is a leek, but the game broke.
That game is very sophisticated with its
beta
vegetables.
game, yeah. We're gonna
The bear fan said to the wall. What to the wall?
real quick.
Leek to the wall? To the window to the wall? Alright, I'm flouring this up. It might look excessive, but I really am careful because I've had ciabatta stick to things before.
We're gonna restart again.
I don't remember saying to the window, but I
this
probably
is my
did.
favorite kind of rhythm game. No rhythm required.
But thank you to Bear Fan for singing along to our sing-alongs. We'll have to have them more often. So I'm gently moving this, and I'm going to move it to the top where the flour is.
Okay. Can I pull any of this?
And then I'm going to do the same thing with this guy.
Hugh, are you online? Come cook with us, or try to.
Emphasis on try to.
I guess it's with the new patch. They broke cooking.
Okay.
Recipe root. As soon as I load in.
So now we have our two doughs. Try to keep them separate. You can even pinch in the middle to make sure there's some, like a wall in between them, like this. So keep them separate.
I started a new one.
And then I'm just going to flour on top. This is just so it doesn't stick to the towel. And this is going to get, it's like the lines on the ciabatta, like I said before, this is how you do it. So I guess you could just leave it on the board if you flour it well.
Whoops.
But this is how you get those lines on it. So I'm going to flour it. So nothing sticks. And then I'm going to cover it up. Now it's covered. So, oh, the bear fan says, move the fig to the window. Yes, the fig is going to the window, to the wall, but it's not quite as, I guess, it's more innocent than that song would suggest. Yeah, the bread looks cute, right?
We did it.
Oh, we're cooking?
We cooked something. We made dumplings.
Oh. Oh, what kind of dumplings did you make?
We made mushroom. It said mushroom, right?
Oh, that's yummy.
Yeah, mushroom dumpling.
That is yummy. Mushroom dumplings.
I lied. It said pan-fried dumplings.
Pan-fried dumplings. We could pretend there are mushrooms in them.
We can.
Because it's not real. So we can pretend.
It's real to me.
It's real to your character in there. I mean, she needs food.
Hi, Jamie. Welcome in. Happy birthday to your cat.
Hi, Jamie. Happy birthday to your cat.
Sarah, do you want to pick something to cook?
So this is what it looks like now. We'll cover it. And now it's doing its final rest or its proofing stage. So it's going to expand a lot more. It takes like an hour to 2 hours, basically. In a few minutes, I'll get up and wash my hands. And I'll turn the oven on to preheat with the baking vessel inside. I'm just going to use, you can use a lot of different things. You can just use a tray if you wanted to, like a regular metal tray.
I have carrots.
Pumpkin has carrots. You can use a regular metal tray, or you can use cast iron. I'm going to use cast iron. You'll see what's good about the way I'm going to do it, and I'll show you, is I'm going to cover it. So that'll help create the steam in the beginning of the bake. So because I have, it's like a huge cast iron. I'll show you. And I can't remember the name of it now. I always mention it on here. It's a little pricey, so I don't necessarily recommend that you get it unless you're really into baking sourdough. But there are other cast irons you can get. You don't have to get this one. But it is a very large cast iron, and it has a cap on it, and it's shallow, which is perfect for this. So we're going to use that. If you don't have something with a lid, you can always do the steam method. The steam method is when you put a little bit, maybe you take a container of ice water. Make sure it's oven safe. Make sure it's not glass because that'll break. But put a container of ice water at the bottom of your oven, and then on the top of your oven is where you're going to bake the bread, and the steam should rise from the water on the bottom. So that's another method you can do. But Brocasso, hello chat. Well, hello Brocasso. Welcome to the chat. We're making ciabatta bread. Today is a special stream. As you can see, my sister Pumpkin is in the corner, and then she's making something in Palia. She's cooking. What are you cooking right now? I know you made mushroom dumplings.
Seared ciabatta.
Is that a fish?
It's a rodent-like thing.
It's a rodent. We're making seared rodents.
It's a fake animal.
Oh, at least it's fake. Q said banished to the corner. What do you mean? What do you mean, Q? Why are you banished? So we are making ciabatta here. We already shaped it. So it looks like this right now. It's going to proof for another hour or so. Like I said, in a few minutes, we're going to turn on the oven and put my baking vessel in it. It's not a lodge, although I recommend lodge for cast iron. I don't think they make a shallow one with a lid, but they do make like an oval one with a lid that could work for this. I would use that for this. It's just like oval.
Pocket Ravioli says, this sister stream is my favorite thing I've ever seen on Twitch, and I've watched all of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Thank you. The sister stream is pretty fun.
Do you have blueberries, Sarah?
I'm just waiting to see if Sarah has blueberries. I'm very curious.
She does.
Okay.
She does. We're going to make a blueberry pie then.
We were just talking about pies earlier. I was saying that, oh my God, I put it in Discord. I think her name is like Erin McGullen or something, and she works for Food 52 or McNowell, something like that. I put her name in the Discord. If you guys are interested in the Discord, I'll put the link here. But there's this nice lady. Her first name is definitely Erin, who works for Food 52, and she puts videos out on YouTube. A lot of them are very long and very detailed. If you're interested in baking, especially sweets, like I'm not an expert in baking pies. She goes into so much detail about baking pies. So I was just talking about her earlier. We're talking about baking pies. So I would check her out if you're curious. And I think she even has like a pie cookbook. I don't have it. She's not, she doesn't bake vegan, although I think she definitely has some vegan options, for making pie crust. She definitely does. But, I don't need a whole cookbook of pies that I can't make. But I do enjoy her videos. So if you're curious, I would look her up. Her first name is definitely Erin, and she works for Food 52. But yes.
So look up definitely Erin.
Definitely Erin. That's her name. We're making blueberry pie. That's exciting. What's your favorite pie, Brooke?
Pumpkin.
Is it actually, or are you just saying that?
It actually is.
That is a good one. Pumpkin? Oh man, I was about to say blueberry, but now I'm thinking it might be pumpkin too.
It feels pumpkin, man.
Pumpkin's really good.
A funny story. So my username is actually after my cat, not because of my love of pumpkins. And I had a friend in college. We worked together in like the computer lab. They brought me a pumpkin spice latte one day because they're like, oh, her username on everything is pumpkin. She must love pumpkin spice. And, I'm not going to accept it and go like, I don't like this. I said, thank you. And I, just drank it. I don't really like pumpkin spice. But then every day this person brought me a pumpkin spice latte, and I was too deep in to be like, hey, I actually don't like this.
Oh my.
So I drank pumpkin spice lattes like 4 times a week out of politeness.
spice lattes aren't that bad.
It was very nice of them.
Yeah, pumpkin spice lattes aren't my favorite either, but they're not that bad. Broke Queso says apple pie, crusty on the top, on the out, sweet in the inside. Yeah, apple pie is also really good. I mean, pie is just good, so I can't think of one I don't like. Maybe some of the custard pies aren't my favorite, but even then, it's not
It's
like they're
blueberry
bad.
pie time.
It's blueberry pie time. Exactly. So, Broke Queso, how are you doing today? Are you a baker yourself, or do you just want to learn about baking, or are you just here for a good time? All of the above. Let us know if you feel so inclined. Oh, wow. I'm just watching the blueberry pie. I'm learning a lot from this. Okay, so you're mixing the
Elisa's
filling,
gonna
right?
be really a gamer.
I'm going to become a gamer. Yeah. I'm already a Twitcher, so next step is gamer. Oh, I like that oven. Is that the oven?
Yeah.
It's old school.
It's
oven.
done. We made a pie.
Oh, that was quick.
I would drink a pumpkin spice monster.
You would, or someone else said?
Did she bully me? Jamie said that.
That's disgusting. Tell her no.
Yeah.
Jamie, you can't drink a pumpkin spice monster. That's gross.
She can do whatever she wants. I just don't think she should.
It's gross. So, Broke Queso says, more of a cooker. Cook on the fly. Okay, cool. What do you like to cook, Broke Queso? What do you like to cook?
Oh no, my inventory is full.
What do you do with the blueberry pie when you're done with it?
You can put it in your house like for decoration, or you can eat it.
So it's not like The Sims where the pie will go bad?
No, it won't go bad. Does food go bad in The Sims?
Yeah, if you don't... Well,
it
even
does.
if you leave it in the fridge, it'll go bad. But if you leave it out, it goes bad faster. And then...
There's the pie we just baked.
And then if you leave too much... Wow, it looks delicious. If you leave too much food out in The Sims and it all goes bad, it'll attract flies, and then you can die by flies attacking you.
Is that Sims 4?
No, Sims 3 had that.
Oh.
I think Sims
I didn't
2
play
too.
too much of 3 or 4.
Didn't Sims 2 have that too?
Did it?
I think it did.
Woohoo!
We'll have to look into that later, but it definitely Sims 3 did.
I don't remember the flies attacking.
It was a possibility. It was always a looming threat if your sim did not clean up.
I play mostly Sims 1, so...
Sims 1 I don't think had that. I don't think so.
It did go bad, though.
Yeah.
Your house has to be disgusting. Oh.
Yeah, it was always a looming threat, I should say. Bro Queso says, my strengths are in pastas. Do you make your pastas from scratch? Or do you just, make the pasta sauces? Okay, Bro Queso, we'll see you soon. So, yeah, let's see what we got here.
You can pick something next, Sarah.
Mattress Demon said Sims 2, your house had to be real nasty to die by flies. Yeah, so it was in The Sims 2. I thought so. Yeah, it was a possibility. Be careful. Be careful.
Maybe do Sim streaming soon. That could be fun.
I don't have the Sims.
I'll make everyone in chat their own Sim.
Wait, you're asking me if I'm going to do Sim streaming, or you're going to do it?
I'm asking if we should, like me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should do it.
Please make me a Sim, says Jamie.
Yeah, that's what I was actually thinking that. That's funny. I'm like, Jamie should be a Sim, and she should drink Monster. Do they have energy drinks in The Sims?
I don't know.
You can see little bubbles coming up right here and right here and right here. So that's good. That's a good sign. I think I have flour on my face, but that's okay. That is okay. So soon I'm going to probably get up, wash my hands, and then turn on the oven. I'm going to leave the baking vessels, whatever I'm baking with, in the oven while it's preheating. I want it to stay in there for at least a half hour because it's cast iron. It holds the heat really well, but it takes a little while to get hot. And when I put this into the cast iron, I want it to be hot in there already. So that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, if you don't have cast iron, you can use something else. I would use something that's metal or baking stone maybe. And if you don't have something with a lid on it, the lid is what helps create the steam. But if you don't have that, you could use the method where you put a water on the bottom of the oven in a container. Don't just pour water on the bottom of your oven. So like take maybe a metal tray, put some water in it, and then put it on the bottom rack of your oven, and you can put the bread on the top rack. That just helps with the steam creation. All right. Okay, so I'm going to be right back. And then then we will continue our discussion and wait for the oven to preheat.
Nice.
Okay. Clap, 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 slap. Oh my god. Clap, 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 slap, slap, slap. That was a good show. While we wait for Elisa to get back. Oh, look at all our food. Sarah, it is so cute in here. I think it's gonna be so nice. I wish we could, like, use each other's properties while we're offline. I was just thinking about Bulby the other day. You want to make everything the same color. Ah. Where's the Palea FC? If my sister comes back and I don't let her back in right away, someone yell at me. Whoever's watching both streams. The stream together function on Twitch is new, and it was like really wonky to set up. Let's bake you want to make stuffed cabbage rolls? Let's do that. I thought we were too. They made it sound like we were, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. I am back. I'm not sure, Brooke, how does it work when I go onto my other screens, but we can still hear you? That's interesting. Oh, I guess because it's on the other. Never mind. I'll ask about it later. But yes. So I'm back. What I did was I just.
You are asking the wrong person.
I'm asking the wrong person?
I can barely function in this game.
Oh, you're talking to someone else.
Let me do things.
So I just turned the oven on to 475 degrees Fahrenheit.
Why can't I mix it? Oh.
I put the Challenger breadware in there. That's what I'm using.
Because
Challenger
I'm a
bread.
dummy.
If you look it up, Challenger bread, you'll find the
Oh,
big
my sister's
tank
back. I'll let her
about.
back in, I guess.
Oh, that's why my sister couldn't hear me this whole time. That's why she wasn't answering my questions. But yeah, I put the Challenger breadware back in there, and then it's going to be
Thank you for the follow, Heart Breath.
It's going to be preheating for, I was going to say 4 hours.
Welcome back.
30 minutes. Yes. So yeah, I was asking before, but I realized you couldn't hear me. So I switched to the Be Right Back screen, but then I realized that you can still hear me and I can still hear you. So I did eventually just turn off my music that I had playing, but I think you already kicked me out by then.
I didn't kick you out. I just unchecked your webcam box and muted the tab.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. Okay. But anyway, I'm back. So the pan's in there, gonna be in there for 30 minutes at least. And by the time that's done, this will be done proofing. You can see here that how it's proofing up nicely. You see the bubbles forming. On both of them, you can see the bubbles right there. So you might not be able to see it. Eventually I get another camera here, so maybe you'll get a better angle so you can see it more. But this proofing up pretty nicely. Should proof up quickly because it, like I said, it's a high inoculation, so everything should go pretty fast. So yeah, what are we baking now? Or cooking on Palea?
Oh, you can come cook with us, Heart Breath. We're not cooking anything right this second. We're just looking at stuff. Absolutely, you can cook with us. What is your name on Palea? Oh, there you are. I see.
It's a cooking party, basically.
It is a cooking party. I don't see you on here though. Should our crops be grown back? I'm gonna go to my house quick. I don't think that was my house. Fishing at the moment. I am new and want to try cooking. Ah, awesome. Good question. Where is Keo?
I don't know where Keo is either.
A mystery. Oh, Keo's in a mint with Professor Chirpy. He's being toony.
I did not understand what that meant at all. He's in a mince with Professor Tooney? No, Professor Chirpy?
Professor Chirpy. He's playing Toontown with Alexandra.
Professor Chirpy. Okay. That's an interesting name. I like it. So yeah, what is everyone's favorite thing to eat with ciabatta? Later we'll
mozzarella and tomato.
So do you like a caprese sandwich?
Yeah.
So
that's the good stuff.
We are making a pizza based on Brooke's favorite sandwich, Pumpkin's favorite sandwich. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, it's only 1:13. My plan is to go until 4. I don't know if Pumpkin will be here till 4. She might have to go somewhere. But my plan is to stay until 4. And we'll most likely have time to make a pizza. So what we're going to do is we're going to slice these in half. Probably do half of one. So half and then half. So it's a quarter. And we're going to, it's almost like a French bread pizza. It's pretty much a French bread pizza. But we're going to use Daya mozzarella because that's what they had. It was on sale too. Daya mozzarella was on sale and they didn't have any Miyoko's, which I wanted to show you Miyoko's mozzarella because they always brag about it or, talk so high about Miyoko's mozzarella, but they ran out. So we're going to use Daya mozzarella and fresh tomatoes. And at the end, we're going to put some arugula on top. So, and then we're going to toast it in the toaster oven. So it's really easy. It's really quick. And it's really good if you have your bread's a little stale. It's a good way to use it up. So we're going to do that. And yeah, that'll be fun. So far I was doing that with the ciabatta. And I was also doing some beans on toast with it. I made mung beans. So I was doing like mung beans on the ciabatta. Then I put a little bit of vegan yogurt on top. And then I put some chaat masala. Oh no, sorry, it was achari masala, but use whatever spice mix you like. Achari masala is the pickle spice. Chaat masala is a snack spice. You can find it at Indian grocery stores if you don't want to make it yourself. And then I put some parsley on top. So, those are 2 things you can do with ciabatta.
Theo triggered our question of the day.
Oh, what's our question of the day?
So our question of the day is, what's your favorite baked good?
That's his
Theo
question.
says, I don't know.
What's your favorite baked good, chat? I feel like I've asked this before, but we'll ask again. Croissant. Okay, that's good.
Butter tarts. What's a butter tart?
What is a butter tart? Like, if you say baked good...
You almost made me drop my croissants.
If you say baked good, like, more broadly, I mean, obviously my sourdough bread. I would probably say my mango bread. It's a kitty!
The buddy.
Hi, buddy! Hi, kitty. Yeah, Munchkin's still sleeping. He hasn't really moved much. But if he moves, I can take his bed over here. But just so he can come into the screen with us.
Heart Breath says biscuits for breakfast.
Biscuits for breakfast.
I don't know how to explain. Kind of like the filling in pecan pie. Okay.
I think I know.
Theo, buddy is not your favorite baked good.
Well, what if you put him in the oven?
No.
He's good and you can bake it. So it's a baked good.
No, can't bake it. Okay. Buddy is a baker. Yeah, he makes biscuits all the time.
I believe that.
Let's make mushroom dumpling soup.
In the game or in real life?
In the game. Unless you feel like making some mushroom dumpling soup.
We can make some mushroom dumpling soup. I do have mushrooms. I don't have dumpling dough, but I guess we could make dumpling dough. We'll see how much time we have.
There's a lot of YouTube videos of people playing like Cooking Mama, and then they try to make the recipe in real life, but exactly how they do it in the game, and they're so funny.
Because in the
game, it never
never
comes out good though.
Yeah, because I was gonna say in the game they probably don't really do it realistically. So Master Steeman says,
how do I visit your plot? I will look as soon as we're done making mushroom soup, because I don't know.
Mattress Demon says, I want some pizza. Have you made dumplings? So, Mattress Demon, we did make pizza a few weeks ago. I made pizza. I put beet sauce on it, beet pesto on it. So, look at that VOD from a few weeks ago if you're interested. I haven't made dumplings on stream, but I have made dumplings before. I'm not the biggest fan of dumplings, but I did make it before, and they were good. They're a little tedious, I guess. They're a little tedious. I can't remember if I tried to make the dough myself or if I bought dough. I think I bought dough. I think making the dough yourself would be more tedious. But probably still okay. Mattress Demon, do you like dumplings? Do you like eating dumplings? And if so, is it mushroom dumpling soup like we're making in Palia?
Sarah, does Heart Breath have to add you to be here?
Mattress Demon says depends on the dumpling. So then what dumplings do you like? I think the dumplings I made were veggie dumplings. I think it was like onion dumplings? I can't even remember. Scallion dumplings? I don't know. They were, you know what? There were cabbage and carrots in them. Cabbage, carrots, and onions. It was momos. I was trying to imitate momos, but I don't know if it came out right. And for those who don't know, momos is
Thank you for the hydrate.
Mattress Demon, I don't know what that is. Like, I will eat spatchel, but not traditional gyoza or whatever. Yeah, I'm not the dumpling queen. I don't know all those dumpling names. I momos are Nepalese dumplings, and there's many ways to make them, but we were just making the vegetarian version, which had cabbage, carrots in it, and then there was a like orange sauce that went with it. I think it was a tomato based sauce. I don't remember, but that's what we were trying to make. But yeah, Mattress Demon, what's spatchel? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. What is spatchel? Bavarian food. So Mattress Demon says spatchel is Bavarian food. Okay, so German, spatchel. It's probably as close as I'm gonna get. Like pretzel, spatchel. So another thing, talking about dumplings. So isn't pasta just a dumpling? Isn't it just a flour dumpling? Prove me wrong. And then gnocchi is definitely a dumpling. I feel like gnocchi is definitely a dumpling. I know many of you probably left after I said a burrito was a sandwich, but I mean, any of you who are still any of you who are still here might leave now that I say pasta is a dumpling. It's still gnocchi. Gnocchi must be a dumpling. Gnocchi is good.
Don't dumplings have stuff in them?
Not all dumplings have stuff. Aren't there dumplings without things in them? Like,
I don't know.
Aren't matzo balls dumplings? Mattress
I
Demon
don't
says
know.
no. Oh, so Mattress Demon says spatchel has nothing in it. Spatchel has nothing in it. I think matzo balls are dumplings. I think gnocchi are dumplings. And maybe pasta's dumpling too. Maybe pasta is a dumpling.
Kyo says, how can you dump a ling without stuff? Oh, Kyo and Heartbreath are here.
But what about matzo balls? Mattress Demon's on my side with this one. He said gnocchi do have things in them too, sometimes.
I've never had gnocchi with things in it.
I don't think I have either. But matzo balls are definitely dumplings. You cannot change my mind on that. And they don't have things in them, just matzah. And probably, I don't know, eggs or something.
Alright, let's make something. Let's make
something. I agree.
I don't know, you guys. What do we make? We can make steak dinner.
We're gonna make steak dinner. Tofutti steak dinner.
We can move things around if it makes it easier. Let's see how we do.
But yeah, we can go back to that article. Brooke, is there an Italian food that you think of as really being like really traditional? Like you think maybe they were making it like thousands of years ago or something?
Spaghetti.
I don't know. I don't know if that's in this article. I wonder how old pasta is. And if so...
bruschetta? Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like bruschetta is not that old. Although I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert at this. I feel like pasta is old though because... And probably the long pastas, I'm not sure. But I bet the long pastas that are easy to make by hand, like spaghetti or linguine, are probably older. Because some of the new, like I don't want to say newer, but some pastas you see are like very intricate and you need like a special device to make it. I'm sure you've seen, anyone in the chat, have you seen like people with their little pasta makers go like that in the pasta? Like they have a little piece of dough and they go like that to shape it.
Yeah.
I feel like that probably isn't as old as just like rolling it out and then cutting it and then boiling it. So yeah, noodles are probably pretty old. Noodles and pasta are the same thing, and they're both dumplings. Changed my mind. But what's interesting about, let's go back to this article. So we talked about panettone, and then this article also talks about tiramisu. It says tiramisu has recent origins, which are disguised by various fanciful histories. It first appeared in cookbooks in the 1980s. Its star ingredient, mascarpone, was rarely found outside of Milan before the 1960s, and the coffee-infused biscuits that divide the layers are pavesini, a supermarket snack launched in 1948.
Oh.
Okay, so I think that's so funny. So essentially what they're saying here is that tiramisu wasn't invented until the 80s. That was like 40 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tiramisu's so good.
Right. So yeah, I agree. It doesn't matter if it was invented, how early it was invented, how late it was invented. It's funny though, because the first line of this article says, or in this paragraph rather, says that it's disguised by fanciful histories. And they're just trying to say, like, you know, it's a relatively recent invention, but they kind of create a myth around it to make it seem more traditional or more Italian. So it kind of makes people think of the old country, the old world, but it's actually only 40 years old. So I don't know. I just find that so fascinating. The myth building of it is fascinating. The same thing with the ciabatta has a myth building aspect to it. We should actually look that up while I'm on the interwebs anyway. I should have looked it up before, but I was reading this article.
The interwebs.
The interwebs. When was ciabatta bread invented? Okay. So, really recently, guys, ciabatta bread was first produced in 1982 by Arnaldo Cavalieri, who called the bread ciabatta polisana after Policine, the area where he lived. So 1982. So that's 40 years ago. Around the same time as tiramisu. So I rest my case. A lot of these foods that we consider older, or we in our imaginations are older, are actually pretty recent. So yeah. There's that. There is that. Let's take a look here and see. They are growing, and we have the same bubbles, but we have some new smaller bubbles forming. So that's good. They're so cute.
I'm gonna go check my house again to see if my crops are ready.
What kind of crops are you growing?
I already forgot.
Okay, so that's the oven.
They grow at 6 a.m.
They grow at 6 a.m.?
That is what keto says. Crops grow at 6 a.m. every day.
Oh.
Yeah, so I have some ready.
Oh.
I got potato and some wheat.
We like that. We like to hear some wheat. You have to supply all the people in
I'm
Palia
an advanced gardener now.
Oh.
My inventory's full.
You have to supply all the people of Palia with wheat so they can make bread. That's how it works. So yeah, you just heard the oven go off, so it reached the right temperature. So now I'm going to leave it in the oven around 2 p.m. We're going to start baking. We're going to get these guys in the oven. Can you make bread in Palia?
Yeah.
What kind of breads do they let you make?
I don't know because my cooking isn't very high, so I don't have all the recipes.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of The Sims a little bit. Because in The Sims, when you get more cooking, when you get more cooking skill, you can learn more recipes.
Yeah, it's similar in that way, yeah.
And the same thing with Sims and gardening. Like you can improve your gardening skills, and then you can plant more different kinds of seeds too. At least in The Sims
Mm-hmm.
3. I don't know about the other ones. And oh my
Yeah,
god,
except
Pete.
this one you have to actually do it. You can't just like click and have them do it and watch.
So are you making the motions to do this? Is that what you mean?
I mean, I'm like moving her and I have to hold down my click so she keeps doing this.
Oh, okay.
Like in Sims, you would just click on something and go harvest that or whatever. You know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
they would listen to you because you're the god.
Yeah.
You're the god of The Sims. Oh my god, Pete is here. He said, gave me some emotes with some hearts and some some bread with a 6-pack, which is a great emote. Which, by the way, thanks to Pumpkin for picking out the bread emotes. Without her,
You picked them.
oh, I did. I picked them. Well, she gave them to me.
Yeah.
So without Brooke, this stream wouldn't be possible. Essentially, so shout out to her. Oh, my cat was scratching. I wonder if he was having bad dreams. Munch Munch, you okay? He hasn't moved since this morning, really.
Is fertilizer important, Keo? I have like a bunch and I just don't use it. Like, why do I want it?
Good question. Why do we want fertilizer? So, oh my god, Pete, is a burrito a sandwich? I don't know if you're here for that. Is a burrito a sandwich? And I have a follow-up question. Is a hot dog a sandwich? And if not, why not? Why isn't a hot dog a sandwich?
I think a hot dog is more taco adjacent.
Is a taco a sandwich?
No.
Why not, though?
Okay, what is it? Like, define sandwich.
Okay, so we need a bread product, right? We need bread, and we need to put some filling in it. So my definition of a sandwich is if you have bread with filling. Sandwich.
I feel like sandwich is bread, like top and bottom bread, in the middle some kind of something, right?
Okay.
And a taco is like, it's a cup holding something.
So then are you saying a hot dog is a taco?
Yeah.
Okay. Mattress Steven says tacos are traditionally corn, so no. So is a corn tortilla not just like, what if we made a sandwich with cornbread? Like, okay, so if we're going with Brooke's definition, Pumpkin's definition of the sandwich, if we took cornbread and we just said piece of cornbread, filling, and cornbread, would that not be also a sandwich even though it's made with corn? We'll figure this out, is all I'm saying. Magic Demon says you would make a massive mess, bro. If you have some sturdy cornbread, I think you'd be okay, alright? I mean, they make that. They make tortillas, like in Mexico. They use tortillas for everything, right? And actually more common, especially in the South, is corn tortillas. They're more common than flour tortillas in South Mexico. And they have things where it's like a fried thing, and they have like corn tortilla, filling, corn tortilla, like that. And it's not messy. Well, I mean, it's not messier than a taco. Tacos are messy. So, I think that's a sandwich. If we're going with Pumpkin's definition, which might as well. Roger Steven says cornbread is very crumbly. You can still do it.
I wouldn't make a sandwich with cornbread.
I'm going to now. Just to prove everyone wrong.
Bad.
It could be like a sweet sandwich. Like you could make a sandwich with cornbread What if you made like a peanut butter sandwich with cornbread?
I don't know. I don't think I'd eat that.
I think it would work, is all I'm saying. And I think it would be a sandwich. That's all I'm saying. I think you guys have you're too narrow in your definition of a sandwich.
All right, here's a question then. Is cereal soup?
Yes, cereal soup. What else would it be? I think that's a really good question. Because then what's the definition of
Yes,
soup?
somebody's saying yes, cereal is soup.
Because what's the definition of soup?
Vanilla soy latte is a 3-bean soup, isn't it?
Because of the
coffee, vanilla, and the
coffee,
soy.
vanilla and soy. Yeah. What is the definition?
It's a bean
of soup?
smoothie.
Yeah, maybe more like a smoothie. Oh, Munchkin's up. Let me see if I can, if I move his bed, if he'll get mad. Hold on. You'll see me in the back moving his bed. I'm gonna try not to use my hands because the bed is dirty.
And then, like, where do we end the line with salads, right? Because what's a salad? Isn't that just like a bunch of stuff together?
Can you see his bed? Not really. I'll have to move it somewhere else. Well, that's a good question, Brooke, about the sandwich. Because have you heard of a salad rather? Have you heard of a Jello salad?
Yeah.
It's called a salad, but it's literally Jello with sometimes random things floating in it. Sometimes they add whipped cream. Sometimes they add mayonnaise.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's fruit salads, right?
There are fruit salads. There's potato salad. There's pasta salad.
So is a sandwich a salad with bread?
Well, I mean, there's a panzanella, which is literally a bread salad. It's a bread salad.
Bread bowl?
Bread bowl. Oh, he's getting into his bed. Oh, okay. Let me move some stuff around and you can see him. Yeah, you can see him. Okay. He didn't get mad at me for moving his bed. Just move this
Putting
around.
stuff back in my inventory to cook.
He's there. Yeah. Oh, my munch. He's right there.
Is it a taco or a salad? Leaf and air soup.
A taco salad. Leaf and air soup? What's a leaf and air soup? A salad?
I don't know.
We really need these things defined, is all I'm saying. Okay.
All right, I'm ready to cook again, you guys. I'm ready.
All right, what are we cooking this time?
Waiting for my friends to come back.
Munch.
You can try our rice cake soup again.
Munch.
What? Sarah, do you see this on my screen? It just says required produce and it has a white block and it says cooking.
Uh-oh. Do you have the white block?
I don't know what that means.
You're missing an ingredient is what it means. A very special cooking ingredient, obviously. Oh, Munch, I'm sorry. Did I move it?
Oh.
I'll move it back. He's not sure about the new spot.
Oh, now it says any red meat.
I'll have to move it back for him.
I will let you pick something, Sarah.
Poor Munch.
I'm out of recipes.
So let me know what you guys pick. I want to know if it's a soup, salad, or a sandwich.
Sarah wants to make soup.
Those are the only 3 categories of foods now that I recognize. It has to be a soup, salad, or a sandwich.
I got the white block too. It's weird. I think it's just bugged.
Imagine if cooking in real life got bugged like that. Like you were making a recipe and you couldn't make the recipe.
Guess we're not eating today.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this. Maybe mushroom dumplings, but the mushrooms were white block, and it was like, oh, I can't make it because I don't have that white block. Sorry.
You got the ice cream jingle with a beats drop, yeah. This is my favorite playlist for streaming. Hi, DeBear fan.
What's your favorite playlist for streaming?
I have like this lo-fi copyright free.
Oh, okay.
And it has like the funniest songs in here. Like right now it's playing the ice cream truck song.
Oh. Interesting. I guess the ice cream truck song is copyright free. That's why all the ice cream men use it.
Yeah.
The Bear fan is replying to Mattress Demon. It says, not with peanut butter. Yum, yum. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm saying you can make a cornbread sandwich with peanut butter and it would be a sandwich. I didn't say it would be good, although I think it would be fine. But I'm not arguing it's going to be great. I'm arguing that it would be a sandwich. Or maybe a salad, or maybe a soup, because now we're having trouble with all these categories. So we'll have to figure it out.
We did it.
What'd you guys make?
Rice cake soup.
Rice cake soup. So it's a soup. And are the rice cakes dumplings? That could be another category of food. Are they dumplings?
It says, unwind after a long day with a hearty bowl of rice cake soup and its delightfully chewy and crunchy textures.
I think rice cakes are dumplings. Mattress Demon says, I feel like your mouth would be so dry. Well, get a glass of milk or water, Mattress Demon.
Copper bars. I might have some. Let me look.
In Paper Paws and Whispers,
I have 20.
Says, what about chicken salad sandwich? Well, that's a salad and a sandwich, no? That's a salad inside a sandwich. So it's both. And now, get this. What if you dip your chicken salad sandwich in soup? Is it all 3? The Bear fan says, food is supposed to bring us together. Each will have their own opinions. I love the talk. Let's all get together and make all these things, stuff our bellies, and we can talk about it. Yeah, the Bear fan. Just so you know, the Bear fan, we're just joshing around. We don't take this very seriously.
I am very serious right now.
Except Brooke, she's very serious about this.
And I'm ready to fight
about this talk of what a sandwich is. And Paper Paws and Whiskers says, nope, that's not allowed. And Mattress Demon just has a chicken. It's okay, Mattress Demon.
Mike says it's nice out today. I guess we could just do some photosynthesis.
It is really nice out.
Instead of eating.
The sun came out. Well, yeah, we're gonna have to do that if Palia keeps bugging. We can't eat, obviously. Yeah, the sun. You can even see it over here because I'm at a different angle. I might have to move a little bit over. I tried to move over here so you could see Munch, but he moved anyway. I'll have it more planned out next time. But, yeah. This is one of the problems I was predicting, is that the sun would come up. So I'll have to move a little bit down. I'll do that on the break. But yeah, we're almost ready actually to put these breads in the oven, for those of you who might have just came in. Oh, this
Let's make a
actually
sheph's pie.
a chef's pie? Is it like a shepherd pie?
Shep. Yeah, I think it is shepherd pie.
So you can see here, they're getting a little bigger. They have lots of bubbles in them. It's fermenting or proofing pretty quickly because we had a high inoculation, which just means I put a lot of sourdough starter in the initial mix, more than 50%, which is quite high. Quite high. So I'll let the oven preheat with the baking vessel in it for 15 more minutes, and then I'll take it out, and I'm going to show you the bakeware so you can see it, what I mean, what I'm talking about. Yeah. Paper Paws and Whiskers, welcome to the chat, by the way. What's your favorite thing to put on ciabatta bread? Paper Paws and Whiskers.
Alex is 82% based and 56% Toonie.
Alex is a based
according to
queen.
Nightbot.
Alex is a based
She
queen.
is.
Yeah, I appreciate that about her.
Oh, Mike is 68% based. Nice try, Mike.
It's still pretty base.
Not as base as Alex, though.
Well, we can't all compete with Alex, you know?
Theo, do you want to pick something to cook next? Keo is 82% Toonie.
That's pretty toony.
And Mike is only 31% Toonie.
Did Keo pick something to cook?
No.
Keo's too busy being toony, that's why.
Keo, go for it.
Paper Paws and Whiskers says, I honestly like anything on ciabatta bread. It's yummy in general. Yeah, it's pretty yummy. It's pretty yummy. I almost feel like making, I know it probably would ruin the definition of this sandwich. We were talking about definitions so much. But I almost feel like putting banh mi fillings in it because it's so similar to a baguette. But it's thinner than a baguette, so I feel like there's less bread per bite. And I think it would make a really good banh mi sandwich bread. And for those who don't know, banh mi, I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. It's almost impossible to pronounce unless you are Vietnamese. But it's a Vietnamese bread. And it's, it's a Vietnamese sandwich. And it's made with a baguette. Although the Vietnamese baguette, Mattress Demon says you're pronouncing it correctly, I think. I'm pronouncing it as correctly as possible. With an American accent, I would say. But thank you for the words of encouragement, Mattress Demon. But it is made with a Vietnamese baguette, which is usually with rice flour, so it makes it a little bit chewier. Although I usually don't make it that way. I just make it with a regular baguette, which you totally can do. And then it has a lot of different, usually it has meat fillings, but you can make vegetarian versions like with tofu or mushrooms or really the seitan. Like I've seen vegetarian meatballs like with, I don't know, some kind of beans used. And then what's really important though is that you have to have pickles on it and lots of herbs. And pickles, they usually use radish and carrot pickles. I actually use beet pickles because I love beets. And I love beet pickles. So I'm already messing around with the sandwich so much. So might as well just make it on ciabatta. Because the best part isn't necessarily the bread, although bread is good. I feel like the best part are the pickles and the all the herbs. So good. So I feel like that would be good on this ciabatta. So I might have to do that. Not this time, because I don't have the ingredients for it this time. Well, I am gonna freeze one of these, so maybe I can do it next week if I freeze one. So that's a thought. Maybe I'll do that next week. I do have beet pickles in the fridge that I need to use up. Look
Those
at us
cakes are so
brainstorming.
cute.
What'd you say, Pumpkin? What's cute?
The cakes that we just made, these little tiny ones.
What'd you just make?
Oh, these little tiny cakes.
They're just regular cakes, or do they have a name in the game? They weren't Chef's Pie.
It was Petite Fives.
Petite Fives.
A bite-sized morsel of cloying joy. Neat as a pin, these delicacies were designed by the oddly geometrical chef John Petit. It's a waste of cake, but the man loved his pentagons.
The oddly geometrical chef?
Yeah.
So that sentence is so funny because it has multiple meanings, and they might have done it on purpose. But it sounds like the chef himself is geometrical, like he's in a geometrical shape, which I like to imagine that's what's going on. But yeah, that's funny. That does remind me a bit of The Sims, a little bit, like the descriptions of the weird objects and stuff.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But is there like, what's the word for that? Like an objective to this game? Is there an objective, or is it just a free world type game?
It's like a free do what you want. There's quests, there's things to level up, but there's no like, you have to do this right now. The objective is to have fun.
Okay, that's good. I like that objective. That's our
Where did
objective
our friend
too.
Heart Breath go? There is a story.
So what's the general story? You don't know? Does anyone in the chat know?
You're like a human, and humans have been extinct or something.
Oh, like Adventure Time.
And they're all like, how'd you get here?
It sounds like Adventure Time.
Yeah, I guess a little bit, yeah.
Which is a great show. But I stopped watching it because I always get sidetracked with things. Especially watching TV shows. I can't watch TV shows for too long. I get distracted. But I was on season 2, and that's probably where I stopped last time. Back to the beginning. But yeah, is anyone else watching TV shows right now? Anything interesting? There's that squirrel again. You just have to trust me that there's a squirrel always running up and down this, I see. It's always shaking. I'm assuming it's an electric line or a phone line. And he's always running up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm pretty sure he, or maybe she, is making a nest somewhere. Probably on the fire escape over there. But yeah, you can see the little line shaking. So if you see me looking outside, it's probably at the squirrels. The squirrels are very interesting creatures. Or birds, but usually the squirrels. Yeah, so let me actually... Pumpkin, how much longer are you going to stay on?
I think we're going to end stream after we make this steak.
Okay. I'll wait till you're done making the steak then. When Pumpkin's done making the steak, we're going to get the ciabatta into the oven and then bake it up, and then we're pretty much done. But I'll show you, I'll let it cool a little bit, and then I'll show you the crumb, and we'll make a ciabatta pizza, and then we'll finish stream. So, but we'll wait for Sister to be done.
Everybody get together. We're going to take a picture before we leave.
A picture in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Friends.
Oh, man. That's cute.
Gather around. Oh, wait, we should get closer to the food we made today. Come on, Heart Breath. Kyo, you two get in here. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Why can't I pose? That works. Let me pose again. Cool. We'll save these. Okay, and for anyone that's new, here are all my socials. Follow me anywhere. And we will raid my sister so everybody can go on over to her stream.
Yeah, because you're already here. I'll shout out my sister Pumpkin again, even though I think most of you here are following her already. But if you're not, go follow her. She today was playing Polia, but usually plays things like Toontown, Animal Crossing, Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy, probably a bunch of other things that I don't know. But go check out her page and follow her for that kind of content.
All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. Have fun in Elisa's stream.
Bye, Brooke. Thanks for coming. Woohoo! A raid with a party of 8. Welcome, everyone. You guys are already here. So, welcome to just me and no Pumpkin, but that's okay. We're going to have fun. So, what I'm going to do now, we have these two ready to go. So, Kyo says, hello again, sister, that I was already here viewing. Hello! Hello, Raider. I know you're already here, but now you're here again. So we have these two breads. They got a lot bigger already, right? You can tell they got a lot bigger. So what we're going to do, I'm going to cover these guys up. I have the baking vessels in the oven. I have this. This is a coaster, I guess, but it's for hot things. I can't think of the name for that right now. It's so I don't burn things. So I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to do one at a time just because it's easier. It might not be the most efficient way, but because I'm bringing them back and forth and they're heavy, that's just the easiest way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the table a little bit just so the sun doesn't get in our way. Then, which is so nice. It got so sunny today. And then I'm going to get the cast irons out of the oven and bring them over here. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I will, sorry for those who just got here that I'm going to be right back, but I will be right back. Okay, there you go. All right, so now we have this out. It's hot, so I'm gonna work pretty fast. So we have these two. The first one's always a little annoying to do. Be very careful because it's hot, like I said. And I'm just going to plop it in. Ah, see, that's the problem. Be careful. Fuck, this one's gonna be a little messed up. That's all right. Try better with the next one. But see, we plopped it in here. It's in here. So now I'm going to get the cap, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So give me 1 second. Okay, so here's the cap. I already put it on, but essentially it's like that, and I'm gonna keep it on. It's hot. Okay, so I'm gonna take this back, and then I'm gonna bring the second one out. Okay, so this time I'm not gonna bring out the cap because you already saw it. I just wanted to show you once. Oof, this one stuck a little. That's not good. All right, this one should plop a little better, so hopefully. All right, that's pretty good. A little uneven, but what are you gonna do? Be careful. Don't touch it like that. Be careful. Okay. So now I'm gonna stop. Or I'm not stop, but I'm gonna go back. But I'm gonna put the cap on in there, and then I'll be back. Okay. So now they're both in the oven with the cap on for 15 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. After 15 minutes, I'll take the caps off, put them back in the oven at 425, and then I'll leave them there for 20 or so minutes until it gets hard and crusty. And then I'll take them out and let you know what they look like, how they came out. But yeah, they might come out a little like weird shaped, but that's okay. Ciabatta is usually a little weird shaped anyway. So welcome everyone from my sister's stream. I hope everyone had a fun time watching her cook and watching me make bread. If you weren't here this morning, we've been doing this all day. Almost. If you weren't here this morning, I did make the dough this morning. So I mixed the dough together with the sourdough starter. I did the stretch and folds. Then Munchkin's in the corner now. Hello, Munchkin. Everyone say hello to Munchkin. Hello, Munchkin. I don't think he was happy that I moved the bed, so I moved it back. You know how cats are. They want their beds in a certain spot. They don't like it that I keep moving the beds. Munchkin, sorry, not Munchkin. The dough, I did the stretch and folds, and then around 10 a.m. we stopped, and we came back around noon because the dough was rising. And that's when we shaped it and let it do its final proof, and now it's in the oven. So if you weren't here this morning, we did make the dough from scratch. So you can see me do that. It'll be up. It is already up on Twitch on the VODs, and it'll be up on my YouTube too. So now that I have the Nightbot. So if you're interested, follow me on YouTube. If you're interested in seeing both the Twitch VODs and shorter videos of me making these breads, I have a bunch of shorts and also like 10-minute long-ish videos of me, instructional videos of me making bread. So if you're interested in learning how to make sourdough, give me a follow there. Also, you can follow me. I can actually put all my socials now because I know how to do that. But I'll just put the Instagram link for now. If you follow me on Instagram, you can also see those short videos. And also, I take pictures of all the breads we make together. I don't take pictures of them together, but I take the pictures of the breads that we make here on stream together. And those pictures end up on Instagram. They end up on my YouTube community page. And they end up on Discord as well. So, you know, follow me in those places to see those things. I'll put my Discord in the chat too while I'm talking about it. My Discord is pretty new, but it's for you guys to post what you've been doing. It doesn't have to be related to what we do on stream, but mostly cooking and baking related. But even I have some channels, like miscellaneous channels. You okay, Munch Munch? Are you okay? You're just lonely? Sometimes he cries just because he wants attention, so. He used to not be like this, but the older he gets, the more he gets like that. Do any of you have older pets or pets in general? Then you might know about that. I'm assuming you all can see me all right and hear me okay. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I was just checking because all good here, says the bear fan. I was just checking because I had like a different camera on, I realized, from when we were doing the stream together, and I never turned it off. But I'm assuming it doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't know how these things work. And then I was like, wait, no one's talking. I wonder if they can all hear and see me. But yeah, sometimes Munchkin does just cry. Now he's just eating, so he's fine. He's fine. I'll hang out with him later so he knows that I love him and he knows I didn't forget about him. Even when if I'm teaching from online, which I don't do this semester, but a few semesters ago I was doing some classes from online, and sometimes he'd meow at me during class. So, they all heard some little bit of Munchkin here and there. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Now Munchkin ate breakfast with us. Now he's eating lunch with us. We love Munchkin. We love Munchkin here. Love, love, love. So what are you guys cooking up this week? Is anyone cooking up anything interesting this week? I told you some of the things I cooked up this week with the ciabatta bread, like a ciabatta pizza, which we'll make here. That'll take like 5 minutes to make. It's such a quick thing, and it's perfect, I think, for kids too. So we made that. I made the beans on toast. Maybe next week I'll do a banh mi with the ciabatta. I'm like really thinking about it. I'm honestly like, it's in my head now, and I'm like, yes, we have to do that. But I'm trying to think of what else I made this. I think that might be that might have been my meal prep this week. Oh, I also made mushroom bacon. We can use some of that on the pizza today. I think I have to do it again because it's kind of chewy and I want it to be crispier, but maybe that's just what mushroom bacon's like. Maybe it's kind of chewy. I don't know. But yeah, mushroom bacon, by the way, is not bacon, but it's a vegan version of bacon with mushrooms, essentially. But yeah, is anyone else cooking anything interesting this week? But yeah, next week I'm really considering doing the banh mi with the ciabatta that I put in the freezer. That's like at the top of my mind now, and now I'm trying to remember what else I was going to make this next week, but I might replace. There might be some replacements going on. I do have mushrooms in the fridge too. I have all the ingredients for it. Wow, it was just made. It was like fate. It was providence. I was supposed to make it next week. So maybe you guys will get a picture of that next week. Oh, wait. So yeah. In other news, I didn't announce this yet. I almost forgot. So I was talking about the banana bread recipe earlier today, but I know it was kind of quiet earlier today. But I'll put my website into the chat. Oops. There's my website. It's if you click on the recipes tab, you'll see all the recipes, and it's everything we've done on here almost is on there. Nearly everything we've done on here is on there. So I just added, just today during the break, I had just the right amount of time to add the banana bread recipe, including a gluten-free option. So we made that, must have been a month ago, honestly. We made it about a month ago. I didn't make it gluten-free on the stream, though. I made the regular version, and I made a gluten-free version the other day, and my husband and I loved it. It took us a few tries to get the gluten-free one. If you read in the blog post, the first time we did it with all oats, which was too mushy. It was too oaty, really. The second time I did it with all buckwheat, and I gave it to my friend who is gluten intolerant, and she said it was too dry. And so I thought we should combine them, and I did. I did half oats, half buckwheat, and it worked really well. So that's in there. And for those of you who don't remember or weren't here yet or just weren't here that day, the miso banana bread is based on a banana bread I had, my husband and I both had. And when we were in Sri Lanka, we went to Sri Lanka in January? No, in December. In December, we went to Sri Lanka. We were in Asia in general. And yes, we had a lot of bananas. We also had a lot of banana bread. And the banana bread was delicious. And this one banana bread in particular, it was a miso banana bread. And it was so good. It was just so amazing. And I had to recreate it. So I was inspired. I needed to recreate this banana bread. And I love banana bread, but it was never like I need to have, like, banana bread's amazing, I need to have it. And now it is. And now I feel like this banana bread is just the best banana bread. So if you like it's definitely a little bit of a savory sweet combo, but it's not overwhelmingly savory at all by any means. It's still mostly sweet. But if you like that kind of stuff, you will like this. You will like that banana bread, so check it out on my blog if you're interested. I'll also be posting this ciabatta recipe on there too, if you're interested. So every week we do that. And for those of you, actually I think the ciabatta will be beeping soon. Munchin's back in his bed. So yeah, I think he didn't like that I moved the bed. So, but while we're waiting here for the ciabatta or the oven really to beep, which I think it will soon, let's look at a calendar. So, let's look at the schedule. So some updates. On Wednesday, I will be doing my regular stream on Wednesday at 1 p.m. I believe it is a holiday on Wednesday. I believe it's Eid. My school is actually closed for Eid. Well, I guess it's been Ramadan for a month, but it might be the last day of Ramadan, a special day. So there's that. But I don't know who celebrates and who doesn't. If you are busy, I understand. Obviously. I obviously understand if you're busy. But yes. If you're not busy, we'll be doing our midweek toast, which usually is just us chatting. I give you some updates on what's going on, maybe with the cottage bakery or with, the blog or other things I'm working on. I show you something that I make with the bread we made the previous week. So last week we did bagels, cream cheese, and lox because we made bagels the previous week. I tried to make it something that we just made, but it's not always that, but usually it is. Usually it's something we just made the previous week together. I figure that makes it more interesting. So that's Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I do that every week except for the last Wednesday of the month. I take that Wednesday off. And then on Saturday, we're going to switch our streams back to Saturday. This week it was on Sunday because yesterday was my uncle's birthday. So on Saturday, I'm going to do my regular stream starting at 8 a.m. Oh, thank you, Pumpkin. Thank you for gifting a sub to Recti. Thank you. I don't know. I'll ask Pumpkin later how that works. I'll ask my sister how that works. But thank you, Pumpkin. Thank you. So, what was I saying about the... Oh, yeah. So on Saturday, we'll do a regular stream starting at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Oh, I'll be back. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the cap off, put the ciabatta back in the oven with the cap off, and then let it bake at 425 for 15 to 20 more minutes. And then this is just going to help develop the crust. So let's go do that. I will be right back. Okay, so now the bread's back in the oven with the cap off. The reason why I do cap on, cap off, I know I've explained this previously in previous streams, but some of you might not know because you weren't there or you weren't listening maybe. But so I put the cap on because we want the bread to be able to expand, and the steam in the oven helps, or in the, with the cap on, helps the bread to expand. But when you take the cap off, now you're going to develop the crust, and we want this bread to be crusty. So we take the cap off. So it's in the oven now. I set a timer for 20 minutes. I think that will get it nice and crusty. It's at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. So in 20 minutes, we'll have ciabatta bread ready. Then we'll let it cool for a little bit before we make our pizza with it. So that's exciting. We're almost done. Sorry. So I was saying before that this Saturday, we're going to make chili oil focaccia. So, that's right, chili oil focaccia. So basically we're going to do another high hydration bread, but this time it's everyone's favorite, but we're not going to do it traditionally because we never do things traditionally here, or at least we don't do it a lot. We're going to add chili oil instead of olive oil to the top. And that's just going to, it has the same effect, but then it's spicy. Essentially, it has the same effect, but it is spicy. So I hope you guys are ready for that. This just in. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing next week, according to my notes, which so far have never been wrong. So has anyone in the chat ever made focaccia? It's a very common bread to make at home, from what I understand. It's actually not my favorite bread to make because I don't like getting the oil over the dough. I know a lot of people love that step. They love that step. But I've made a lot of focaccias. I'm not even going to tell you the cool ones that I've made in the last few weeks because some of them must be kept a secret. My lips are sealed. Essentially, my lips are sealed, but one of them that I made is a chili oil one. And my husband absolutely loves this one. I like it too, but my husband loves it. So when I asked him, should we make this on stream? He was like, yes, absolutely, we should make this on stream. So thanks to him, we were making it on stream. Without him, who knows what I would do? I'd be left to my own devices. No will or way. I'd have to lead myself. Anyway, so I don't know if anyone else has made this, or if you guys have any suggestions of what we should make next after that, because I don't think I have a set plan after that. I don't think so, and most of what we made is from your suggestions. Today, what we made was from X Pumpkin, or Brooke's, my sister's suggestion, which is why I wanted her on with me. So thank you for coming on, Brooke. So that was great. But if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. If you don't want to tell me now, you can always let me know on Discord, because my Discord has a suggestion channel and you can give me suggestions. Like I said, I take them all pretty seriously. If I get a lot, I can't do all of them, but I do consider all of them. Because like I said, all of what we've made so far have been from suggestions. Almost everything has been from a suggestion. So going back to our chat from earlier, since we have some time, and I don't see any suggestions, you can go back to our chat from earlier about Italian food being kind of modern, even though we like to consider that it's so old, it's actually fairly modern. I mentioned before that ciabatta was invented in the 80s. I think it said 1982, and it was a backlash against the French baguette. It was so interesting to me. We mentioned panettone, which is a Christmas bread. It's an enriched Christmas bread. And according to this article, which I'll put back in the chat again, it's also on Discord. This article is so good. Such a good article. I'm happy I found it again. So, panettone used to be like a thin, like flatbread with raisins in it, but now it's this rich, really tall dome bread that is traditional in Christmas. Tiramisu we talked about. That's another example they give in the article. Apparently, this was invented in the 1980s. That's only 40 years ago, guys. That's only 40 years ago. Parmesan's the next one they give. They give an example of Parmesan. They say that Parmesan is ancient, but before the 1960s, which was only 60 years ago, right? Wheels of Parmesan cheese weighed only about 10 kilograms, as opposed to the hefty 40 kilogram wheels we know today, and were encased in a thick black crust. Its texture was fatter and softer than it is now. Some even say that this cheese, as a sign of quality, had to squeeze out a drop of milk when pressed. And according to this person, its exact modern day match is Wisconsin Parmesan. I actually don't know what Wisconsin Parmesan is, but if you guys want to look that up, apparently it's encased in black. Then they mention pizza. This is very interesting. So he says discs of dough topped with ingredients were pervasive all over the Mediterranean for centuries. Piada, pita, 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 pizza. I guess these are all similar, right? I didn't even think about that. That pita might be a cousin of a pizza. Mind blown, right? And I already read this one. I guess I must have skimmed right past this. Piada, pita, 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 and pizza. But in 1943, when Italian-American soldiers were sent to Sicily and traveled up the Italian peninsula, they wrote home in disbelief. There were no pizzerias. Before the war, Grandy tells me pizza was only found in a few southern Italian cities, where it was made and eaten in the streets by the lower classes. His research suggests that the first fully fledged restaurant exclusively serving pizza opened not in Italy, but in New York in 1911. For my father in the 1970s, pizza was just as exotic as sushi is for us today, he adds. So that's incredible, I think. I think that's incredible. I mean, I guess we all secretly knew that pizza was American, but just having it written out like that was like that pizza was exotic for his father, who lived in Italy in the 1970s, as sushi is for us today. So it was like a foreign food. I think that is incredible. Maybe you guys don't think that's as incredible as I do. But yeah, I don't know. I find this very interesting. So, of course, they ate things that were like a pizza, is what this guy is saying. They were like pizza. They were flat discs of bread with toppings on it. But I guess the cheese and tomato pizza that we're familiar with now wasn't really a thing, right? And they didn't have like exclusive pizzerias like we do now. And he was giving an anecdote of American soldiers going to Italy during, I believe, World War II, he said. That would make the most sense. And that they were lamenting, there's no pizzerias here, right? I thought pizzas were Italian. Where are the pizzerias? Well, no, maybe not. Maybe not the same way, at least not the same way we think of it, right? That's something we might have already known, but it's just interesting seeing it written out that way. Any other example we read was Parmesan. Parmesan, I'm not that interested in it, but I still think all these examples are interesting. They give examples like mozzarella being fairly modern. What else? Oh, carbonara they talk about a lot as something that, people get carbonara, people get some, they get dogmatic. That's the word they're using here. They get dogmatic about it. And basically, he's talking about how, like, if you change one ingredient in the carbonara, it's not carbonara anymore, right? If you take out, like, the type of meat, I don't even remember. Is it bacon in it? I don't know. Whatever type of meat it's in it, if you take it out and replace it with another type of meat, it's not carbonara anymore. Like, people get really dogmatic about it. And it's a sense of pride, right? It's a sense of pride for these individuals. That this carbonara, this pasta dish, have like these kind of ingredients, and it has to be this way, or it's just not right. But then this dish isn't really. It's kind of an invented dish, like all things. It's kind of an invented dish. So we're making the myth. They're making the myth of what it means to be Italian cuisine. They're creating it. I don't know if there's anything that you think if you're American like I am, maybe there's some American foods that kind of create that myth. I mean, I was thinking things like apple pie, pie in general, definitely, but apple pie, burgers and hot dogs, things like that definitely kind of create a myth. They're probably mostly modern foods too. I wonder. I'd have to look into it. Apple pie, I feel like might be older, but like a few hundred years at least for apple pie. But hot dogs and burgers might be more, at least the way we eat them now might be more modern. I don't know. There's a lot of other American foods, so I can't think of them all. Turkey on Thanksgiving, even cornbread on Thanksgiving, mac and cheese. These types of foods, I think, they create kind of a myth of an Americanism. But I don't know the history behind all of them, and I don't know what history. And what's interesting about this article is what they're claiming really is that they're not claiming that these foods are bad because they're not traditional. That's not the point of the article. The point of the article is not, these foods are bad because they're not actually traditional. The point of the article is to say that the way we think of these foods and the way we talk about the history of these foods are often wrong. They're often lies. And lies to create a myth of being traditional. That doesn't mean these foods are bad. They're good. Everyone likes pizza, right? But these foods might not necessarily be what we think of as actually being traditional. So that's the idea. So my when I say this, I don't mean if burgers are a more modern food and we like to think of them as Americanism, that doesn't mean they're bad. But another thing, going back to this idea of the myth making, right? Another thing about America that I think is interesting that I would, if I were trying to do research on this topic, I would look into, is that America is much different than Italy in a lot of ways. And one of those ways is that, yes, America has traditions, but one of the traditions is innovation. Like we're a new country in a lot of ways, right? As the United States, we're a newer nation compared to Italy. We're the new country, right? That's how we think of Europe and maybe Asia as the old country. And then America we think of as the new country. So in that way, part of our tradition is innovation. So if a food is like a newer food, we kind of don't reject it like maybe they would in Italy or France. I think they might be a little more try to keep to what they consider their traditions. Whereas in America, if there's a food like, I don't know, if we say hot dogs are invented in the 50s, I think to Americans, they don't care. They're not like, no, hot dogs have been in our tradition since the founding fathers. We wouldn't say that. We would be like, oh, okay, that's cool, right? We wouldn't really create a myth that, at least that far down the road, we wouldn't create that far of a myth. But there might be other myth builders that we have that I would be like, I don't really know. I wish I knew more. But they're definitely there. I believe it. But I am not aware of them, really. So that's enough about me. I don't know if anyone in the chat has a similar experience with a different cultural food. I mentioned earlier pad thai. I have to find an article about pad thai and put that in Discord as well, because I didn't find that article during my break. But pad thai, for example, is also kind of a myth building food. Like I was saying earlier, in Thailand, noodles used to be considered Chinese, and there were and still are a lot of Chinese immigrants in Thailand. There's a large Chinese population there, and noodles were considered foreign. They were considered a foreign food. Not that they didn't eat noodles in Thailand, they did, but it was considered like, oh, we're getting, like when we go to eat noodles, we get Chinese takeout, for example. But they wanted to have a more like national identity, right? Stronger national identity as Thai, not as Chinese or whatever. So they created a dish called pad Thai that, like I said, I want to find an article so I can have more specific details for you. I don't like being too general when I'm talking about these things, but from my understanding, it was a nation building exercise to create this dish pad Thai. It wasn't a traditional Thai dish. So it's similar to a lot of the other things we were talking about, like the ciabatta, which is in the oven right now. Not that it's a bad food. Again, I want to emphasize it doesn't mean it's a bad food at all. But ciabatta, which some people think of as a traditional Italian bread, was invented 40 years ago. So, and it was invented as a backlash to foreign foods coming in. I find that really interesting. It's modern times are a little weird for, I think, people and what do I want to say? Like it's a little weird for certain cultures who want to stay traditional. So it's almost like they invent a way to stay traditional because they don't want to be modern, or they don't want to accept other, especially American type products, but even other products into their culture, essentially. So I find that fascinating. So yeah, the ciabatta, speaking of the ciabatta, it's in the oven now. It should be done soon, actually. I feel like I've been talking for a few minutes here. It should be done soon. Basically, I'm going to wait until it's brown and crunchy. I want it to have a nice crust. Now, if you want it to be a little softer on the outside, you just don't bake it as long. I would at least bake it uncovered for 15 minutes for a total of 30 minutes. You don't want it to be not baked in the middle. That would be bad. But you could just bake it for a few less minutes and you should be okay with a less crunchy crust. But I feel like ciabatta should be a crunchy bread, so I would bake it until it's crunchy. And then, we'll remove from the oven, we'll check it out, and then we'll let it cool. And we'll be on our way to making some ciabatta pizza, which is like a French bread pizza. Oh, there it is. I knew it. I knew it was almost done. I could have just looked at the clock and timed it that way, but instead I just had to guess. All right, I'll be right back, and hopefully with some ciabatta. Hello. We're back. So we got these two guys here. They're perfect. They're steaming still. I have a cooling rack behind me, so I can just put them right behind me. But before I put them on, I'll show you. They're a funny shape, but they're actually not that bad of a shape. This one's actually pretty good. You can see the lines on it. That's from putting it on the towel. Yes, Munchkin? Do you want bread too? So this one's pretty good. You see it's flat. That's where it gets its name, slipper. Ciabatta means slipper. For those of you who weren't here in the morning, ciabatta means slipper. So it is flat, but it did bounce up still enough that we can cut into it and make a sandwich with it. So yeah, this is good. There. Okay, this one actually puffed up quite a bit. I mean, it's still flat, but it's way puffier than the other one. And then it has a weird shoe shape, but still good. And it looks so, I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, it's so crispy, so good. So it was perfect. So yeah, I'll put these to cool on the cooling rack that I have behind me. And then we will cut into it. You can see I have more bread back here. So, there's never ending bread here. If you're wondering, I'm going to put at least one of these. I might put 1.5 of them in the freezer. Maybe banh mi's next week. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I might be making banh mi's next week. Maybe I'll make them with you guys. We'll think about it. Be careful. These are still hot. These are cast iron. They retain their heat very well, which is good for baking, but not so good for burning yourself. Please don't burn yourself. Always use protective gloves. I'll let those cool for a little bit. I mean, really, I should let them cool for at least a half hour, but I might wait for less time. I mean, they're so crusty that really, and so thin that really it shouldn't take that long for them to cool. They have a lot of surface area, essentially, is what's going on. They have so much surface area that they should cool down quicker than a whole loaf would. So how's everyone's week looking for next week? I already told you that I have off on Wednesday, which means I have a short week this week. I'll still be here on stream on Wednesday, but I will have to go to my teaching job. So that's pretty cool for me. That's cool for me. Yeah. So I won't go to my teaching job this Wednesday. I have a shorter week. But either way, it's kind of getting close to spring break. Oh, not spring break. Summer break for me. Spring break ended a few weeks ago. It's getting close to summer break. So the semester's almost over. And on my side, that means that I am going to change my streaming schedule. I'm not sure to what yet. I'm not sure to what. But I want a schedule that, works for me, of course, but also allows a lot of you to watch and participate and I have interesting things for you to do, right? Today we had my sister on stream with us. That was a nice event, but I want to do other events too. Like I want to do some like one of my viewers gave me this idea. He's not here right now, I don't think. So I won't put him on blast. But he asked if I had videos on YouTube going over English, and I don't. But I could do some streams where we have a lot of downtime, right? Like right now, I'm waiting for them to cool. Before, I was waiting for them to proof, for the dough to proof, and for the dough to ferment, whatever. We have a lot of time in between where we're just chatting. And I was thinking I could direct. I sometimes have things to say in between, which is nice. But I was thinking I can kind of direct. You guys can let me know in the chat or let me know in Discord if this is interesting to you. I got a few yays on it, so I'm thinking that a lot of people might find this interesting. Where we'll do grammar. I know some of you asked me if there's going to be a test, and there's not going to be a test, but we could just have some fun, like do some grammar games in between the baking, and that might be fun. So I know they have grammar games even online that we could just do, or we can just do some ones that I create. Whatever it is, we can do it. But I think those are fun. But of course, I'm an interesting individual, so maybe you guys don't think that's fun. So let me know. Let me know what you think. But other directed things, like we could do story days where we could like read some short, like really short stories. I have so many books back here, guys. I know you can see some of them right now. I have so many books that we could do story time. Like, I mean like a traditional story time. Like, I'm just going to read to you guys. If you guys like that. Again, like this is, there's so many things that I could do, but the question is if you guys want to watch, because that's what this is about, right? I could sit here and do a lot of things, but do you guys want to watch? That's the real question. So yeah. Those are some ideas I have, right? And I have those ideas. I have some New Jersey writers that we could read from too, right? I have those ideas because those are my two main interests, I suppose, baking and, reading/writing, including grammar. Of course, I'm a teacher. You guys all know I'm a teacher because I give you all the teacher vibe anyway. So I know you guys all know I'm a teacher. Or if you didn't know, you had a suspicion. So I don't want to make this like class for you. That's not really like the point necessarily. But if you guys would like that kind of thing, like reading together, doing grammar stuff together, just for fun, we could do that. And then we could, in between the baking, we'll have a more like direct. Not that we have to stay on topic the whole time. Again, it's not real class. It's just for pretend. But we'll have a more directed conversation, so that way, if there's a lull in the middle of, our baking, which we have a few lulls. Like right now, we have a lull. We could do something like that. We have a topic. Oh, we're talking about this short story that we read. We read a little bit of it anyway. What do you guys think? And if you guys have anything to say, then I can yabber on for a while if you guys are interested in what I think. But that's up to you. And then during like different seasons, like during Halloween, we could do a scary one, scary stories. I have so many good scary stories to read to you guys. My story collection is incomparable. Okay, I'm just kidding. Probably the library has more, but my scary short story collection is really good. It's really, really good. Not to toot my own horn, but it's really good. So we could do something like that. I think that would be fun. We can even read some stuff I was thinking from, since I'm the Jersey girl. There's a magazine called Weird New Jersey. They also have online articles, so we don't have to buy the magazine. But there's a magazine called Weird New Jersey, and we could read some articles from there. It's almost like, is it called Spooky Pasta? Some of it's almost like that, which is honestly great. I mean, that sounds like fun to me. So yeah, that's just some ideas. If you guys have any other ideas, please let me know in the chat or let me know on Discord. Like, honestly, I'm very open to hearing your ideas. I think we'll have, like, really great fun doing those types of things in the summer. And, well, if they work out, I can continue doing them in the fall. Yeah, so some other ideas too. I was thinking of getting rid of the midweek toast and maybe doing a midweek bake instead, because I feel like those days are kind of chill. Those days maybe, which is okay for me because I'm a little tired anyway after work. And I come back, I just give you some updates and show you like a little something, and then I'm out with less than 2 hours usually. I'm like, all right, I'm done because I was at work all day, talking to people and talking to students, and now I'm here, and then I'm like, time to. And usually by the time I'm done after 2 hours, my husband's home, and time to make dinner and whatever, blah blah blah. But since I'll have more time, we could do something different in the middle of the week. We can maybe do. I was thinking like we could actually do meal prep, or we can do like what to do with stale bread type recipes. I have a lot of stale bread recipes that I could show you. Or maybe even like I was saying, we could do like a story time or whatever, like something like that. So yeah, it's. If you guys have any ideas or you guys have any feedback, let me know. Let's feel how this bread is. Still a little warm, so I'll wait a few more minutes. But I can touch it now. Before it was too hot to touch, and now I can touch it. Bless you, Munchkin. Bless you, Munchkin. He's our angel over there. So now I can touch. So now I can actually feel the crunch. It's nice. Yeah, that's nice. This one I'm almost afraid might have like a huge hole right here, but we'll see. It feels really light and airy though. Really, really light and airy. So nice. Oh, I didn't bring the cutting board in here. When it's ready, I'll have to go back and get the cutting board. While I'm up, you guys can remind me if you're still here lurking. I should get all the ingredients when I get up. I should also get all the ingredients for the pizza, so that way I don't have to keep getting up and down with that. So yeah. The recipe I'm going to show you right now, it's not even really a recipe. It's just kind of like something you could do with the bread, right? It's definitely a good stale bread recipe or idea. Especially because ciabatta, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, I must have. Ciabatta goes stale really fast. At least much faster than a whole loaf. A whole loaf like this, which is already a little stale, but it was baked a while ago. I can refresh it in the oven, which I'll probably do. But this will take a while to really go stale. It'll take a while. The ciabatta took like 2-3 days, and it was already like rock hard. Like I had to refresh it in the oven, and even then it was kind of stale. So I'm going to freeze one of these because I think that's a better way to store them if I'm not going to eat them same day. If you're going to eat them same day, then you're fine. And even maybe the next day you're fine, but after that, I think you're better off freezing them. I already have a lot of bread in my freezer, but we'll have more. The solution, we'll have more. We'll have more bread in my freezer. Sorry, I was just looking at Munchkin. He's distracting me just like the squirrels outside. He's just making faces. I don't know why. I don't know why he's making faces. So yeah, I guess you guys know all about me. What's new with you? What's going on? What's going on with you and wherever you are? It looks really nice outside, so when we're done, I might have to take a walk or something. And if you guys live wherever you guys are, if it's nice where you live, you should also go take a walk. Don't let the day get away from you. My husband was reading the other day about something called, oh God, I can't remember what they called it. Something guilt. Like basically, they have a new word for being guilty for not going outside. So basically, it was like a psychological term. So basically, the idea was that you felt guilt that you missed out on a nice day. Maybe if I remember, I'll put that in Discord too. I'm gonna have to actually make a channel just for the links that I have to send for things that we mentioned, but I can't remember. But essentially, there was just a word for being guilty for not going outside. So you don't want to get that guilty feeling from not for wasting a beautiful day. You should enjoy it. You should enjoy a beautiful day. And we've had a lot of rainy days here, so. And I thought today looked kind of gloomy this morning, but now it's all nice, so. The sun is shining. The sun is definitely shining over here. Okay, it feels pretty cool now. I don't know how long it's been. I should have just looked at the clock. That would have been smart, right? Wouldn't that would have been smart? But my guess is it's been about 20 minutes, which is pretty good. So let me get, well, actually I'll move this back because I'm going to get the cutting board out and get all the ingredients out. And while I'm up, I'll put all this away. And then I'll show you how to make a ciabatta pizza. And we're going to do it in the toaster oven. But this morning, I actually made a huge one for my husband and I for breakfast. Because the ciabatta from last time I made it was stale. The Bear Fan says I bought a pizza. Well, good for you, the Bear Fan. We're going to make a ciabatta pizza. But the pizza you bought probably is very good. I hope you enjoy. But we're going to make it in the toaster oven. But this morning I made it in the oven. Basically the same method. Oh, because I said ciabatta pizza. Ciabatta pizza. I get it. Ciabatta pizza. I bought a pizza. But, no. We're going to make it with our ciabatta, and I'm going to do it in a toaster oven, but this morning I made it in the bake oven because I made a huge one that wouldn't fit in the toaster oven, and it was the same method. It's so easy to do. It takes 5-10 minutes max. The Bear Fan says sometimes my brain thinks faster than I should speak. No, I actually thought that was funny. I just didn't get it. I thought you were saying you bought a pizza, and I was like, okay. That's cool. I'm glad you bought a pizza, but no, she bought a pizza. I like that. Munchkin's having a snack again. Okay. Let me get up and get the cutting board and a knife and all the ingredients for the pizza so I don't have to get back up again. So the Bear fan said that his fair every year sells French bread pizza. So good. Yeah, French bread pizza I think is underrated. It was definitely a classic when we were growing up. I don't see it as much anymore, but maybe it's just for kids, so maybe that's why I don't see it as much. But it's definitely a staple for kids. It's almost like bagel pizzas, but I feel like, or pizza bagels, but I feel like French bread pizza is better than pizza bagels. My opinion. And the ciabatta pizza is really good and really easy. I want to take a picture of the other one, so I'll cut into this one. So I think the other one came out a little prettier. And I'm also curious to see what happened over here. So I'm going to cut into it. Be very careful when you're cutting into it, okay? I have my glove that saved my life this morning. Saved my finger this morning when I was cutting into the ciabatta. So wear a glove. Because it's a little hard to cut, you can tell. I'm going to cut into it so I can see the crumb. Look how dangerous this is. It's very dangerous. Put your hand up. There you go. That's better. So I'm very curious to what this bubble looks like. It smells really good. That's for sure. Oh, it looks good too. Oh yeah, we do have a big bit of a bubble, but it's okay. It's still good. Still have a bit of a bubble right here. See? But that's okay. This side looks a little better. Look at all those holes. Yeah, exactly. It's just going to fill up more, this side. It's just going to fill up with more filling. But look at all these holes. Like, really good. And this came from two things. One, getting these holes like this came from the high hydration. And then two, it came from the gluten. You have to develop the gluten really well to get holes like this. And this one, I'll show you the big hole. Yeah, that one's funny, but it's okay. It's still going to be really, really delicious. We have another big hole here. I was suspicious. I saw this bump, and I thought, I think there's a big hole there. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to give this one to my husband later, probably. I'll give him this piece. Or should I give him the one with the big hole? I'll give him this piece. I'm afraid this one, I'll eat that one later. So I'm just going to cut one of these in half. And I'll save these for later. I'll probably freeze them when we're done here. So they don't get stale. So it's going to be about this size. This is a good size. If he wants another piece, I can just make him another piece. But this is a good size for a serving. This morning we had like ones that were double this size. So now I'm doing this like a caprese pizza. Because that's what my sister likes, caprese sandwiches. So that's what I was basing this off of. Inspired by sister. So it's going to be a little different. It's going to be with a fresh tomato. These are my budget tomatoes. This is a little wrinkly guy that's in the fridge. This is a perfect recipe for using the wrinkly guy in the fridge, honestly. Because the tomatoes aren't going to be 100% fresh because they're cooked a little bit in the toaster oven. So you can use the wrinkly guy in the fridge. It's okay. So be careful when you're cutting tomatoes too, but it's not as dangerous as cutting the bread. So I'll be okay. Cutting the bread's a little dangerous, especially when you're me. So because it's a caprese pizza, it's a little different. We're gonna put, this is the cheese I'm using. It's Daiya mozzarella cheese. Not only, it's one of my favorite cheeses. Okay, I like Daiya cheddar more, and I like Miyoko's mozzarella a little more. But it was on sale. Oh my God, look at that. They have a picture of what we're making almost on the back with the mozzarella and the tomatoes on top. That's what we're doing. We're putting mozzarella on the bottom and tomatoes on top. Look at that. so we're going to put this on the bottom, which is why I was like, I don't think I want to give Gonzalo the one with the hole. Maybe it'll be too much cheese in there, but he might like that. I wasn't sure. The cheese should go into the holes, but not so much. Not like a cavern. Okay, so just kind of fill it up with cheese. I think I weighed it out once and it was like 30 grams of cheese. Yeah, that's a serving. A serving is 30 grams of cheese, so that's how much it was. It was one serving. So just get all the cheese on. And then we're going to put on our tomatoes on top. So this is why it's different. There's no tomato sauce. Just the tomatoes. We'll try to get them all on here. I like to use up 1 tomato per pizza. Yeah, that's good. It's a lot of tomato, but it's okay. And then this is not traditional on the Caprese, but we have it and my husband likes it. We're gonna add mushrooms to, well, mushroom bacon. See if you can see. We get 1 piece. You can see it there. That's a mushroom bacon. So they're just really crispy pieces of mushroom that I seasoned with smoked paprika, soy sauce, and maple syrup. Like I said, I think I can get them crispier, but they're still good. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. I'm going to put it in the toaster oven at like 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. That's it. Only 5 minutes. Maybe 1 or 2 extra minutes if your cheese isn't melting, because if vegan cheese does sometimes take a long time to melt, but it really shouldn't take that long to finish. And then when I'm done, I'm going to put some arugula on the top. You can use basil, would be more traditional, but I don't have basil. So we're using arugula. But whatever you got, put a green on top, put an herb on top. And yeah, that would be, it's that easy. And it's perfect for stale bread. I know this is fresh bread, so really we should wait till it stales, but I just wanted to show it to you. And my husband will love it no matter what, so it'll be good. So I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to put this in the toaster oven for 5 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll come back. Munch, you okay? Munchkin wants pizza. That's all I know. I almost forgot to come back to the main scene. I was just jamming to the music. I felt the rhythm in my bones, and I just had to jam out to it. So I almost forgot to come back to see you guys. But yeah, the pizza's in the oven. and the toaster oven. And it will be, oh, the light is changing because the sun is out. And it will come out soon. I'll show it to you guys. And then when we're done, we'll just tidy things up and we'll end the stream. But if you guys have any suggestions for a raid, because I'd like to do a raid today. So, I mean, I can look for myself. Let's get out of this thing. There you go. Yeah, I can look for myself. Oh, we could raid Chef John Wang. I want to raid someone else besides Rusty Rhymes, although I know they're very nice and they'd appreciate the raid. He is crazy. He is a little crazy, to Bear Fan. Yeah, he's hyper. Is that too much for you today? Can you not handle it? But great. Yeah, I think he's okay. I think we can raid him. He's very nice. And I like I said, I know Rusty Rhymes would appreciate the raid. I'm actually in their thing right now. I'm lurking in their thing right now. So I'm already there. But I think we should raid more different people. So we'll come back and we'll do Rusty Rhymes again another time. I think they okay, he said the Bear Fan says my mood will just mute his a little, but I love him. He's a great friend of the team. But yeah, sometimes it's good to have different personalities, as long as they don't clash. The Bear Fan, I'm not hyper, as you know. I'm pretty calm. So I don't quite have his energy levels. So I kind of feel you on that. When I first started watching him, I was like, oh, he's a little much. He's a lot. But I think he's really nice, and I like that he's doing a cooking stream. So it's good to support him, even with our little raid. Our little mini raid. So yeah, I think I'll raid him in a few minutes. But first we'll show off our pizza and close things up here. Yes. And this time, when I raid, I will stop this stream. It's good to practice these things, The first time you're not gonna be perfect. The first time, you're not the raid queen the first time you raid. Wait, what? I'm gonna read what you wrote to Bear Fan, and it might be just I don't understand the context. The Bear Fan said, I support mummies to race car drivers. Oh, like moms. Okay. Everyone is doing great deeds, whether teaching or learning. Love them all. The Bear Fan, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. So when I first read that, I read it as like mummies in the tomb. Yeah. And I was just like, you support mummies? So when I thought you support mummies to race car drivers. I thought maybe mummies were becoming race car drivers, right? And I was just, my brain was like, the Bear Fan says, we have an 88-year-old grandma that plays WoW. That's cool. That's cool. WoW being World of Warcraft. Because I'm so smart, I know what that is. That's cool. Yeah, I guess it might be nice for her because, it gives her something to do. I'm assuming she's retired and everything. That's nice. Oh. I think our pizza is ready. So let's go. I'm going to go get it and see what it looks like. If it needs a little more time, I'm basing it off of if the cheese is melted enough. Because the vegan cheese takes a little longer to melt. And the Bear Fan said, I have WoW players slipping into the realm of cooking streams now. That's great. Send them over our way. And we will, I'm assuming they're either watching them or they're actually doing them themselves. And if they're doing them themselves, I would follow. I have been following a lot of cooking streamers ever since the Bear Fan started me off, what's that called? Networking. That's what they call it. Okay, I'm gonna go get the pizza and I'll be right back. Wait. The Bear fan says, I still need you to make that Twitch little sister Brooke. What do you mean? Still need you to make that Twitch little sister Brooke. Oh, like Sister Brooke. Oh, Twitter. Okay, the Bear fans calling me out on my lack of Twitter here. Might have to do it. I hate Twitter. I've never been on it, so maybe it's just what I hear of it. But maybe I'll go on because I trust the Bear fan and I trust my sister, Brooke. Okay, here's our pizza before I start putting stuff on it. Here's what we have so far. You guys can see. There you go. So the cheese did melt in its vegan way. It got gloopy. I'm going to end up putting it back in the oven anyway when my husband comes home, so it will melt a little bit more. Or in the toaster oven. So yeah, but I think I'd put it in for like another minute after this. But I'll do that later when my husband gets home. I'm going to put some arugula on it now, though. It'll be fine in there for another minute with the arugula on. Yes, I do think the tomato cooked down a little bit and the juices did come out a little bit. Which is what should happen. It's not going to get like too much in the bread like you said because the cheese is there. But it does a little bit get into the bread. That's what we want to happen. I think this morning, because we made it in the oven and we cooked it for a little longer, it happened a little bit more even. So that was good. So I'll put a little bit of arugula on. Because you got to eat your greens. Even if it's just a little bit, okay? You got to eat some greens. You should eat a lot of greens. But greens are good for you, okay? I gotta get a way to get munchkin in the shot. I mean, maybe I'll go back to my regular shot. I don't know. We'll see. The Bear fan, we don't have any left because we used the ones that I made last week on stream. But the Bear fan says the smoked tomatoes would be good. Yes, the smoked tomatoes would be excellent on this. So last week on stream, we made smoked tomatoes in my indoor smoker. If you have an outdoor smoker, that's probably even better. But we live in an apartment. We have an indoor smoker. If you get one, just make sure you use it next to a window and open the window. But it's very small and it goes in your stovetop. And we use a lot of things. We use it for mushrooms. We use it for eggplant. I've used it for tofu. But the best, honestly, the best is the smoked tomatoes. That's what we use it the most for. If it's coming out, there's probably smoked tomatoes coming, really. really. But it's really, if you like smoking but you live in an apartment, I think it's pretty worth it. The brand I use, I think, is called Cameroon with a Cameroon, I believe. And they even sell like little wood chips that you can use with it. So yeah, do that if you're so inclined. I recommend it. The Bear fan recommends it, even though I don't think he has a indoor smoker. I think he probably has an outdoor one. Lucky I have, the Bear fan says, lucky I have on the top floor. Oh, I live on the top floor, so my smoker does not affect anyone. Yeah, that's good. That's good that you live on the top floor. Yeah, you don't want to smoke out your neighbors, right? You don't want to do that. That's rude. But my smoker doesn't like produce that much smoke. It's so tiny, but I just opened my window, so like it's not good to smell the fumes. The Bear fan says no, then I would have to feed them. Yeah, because then they'd come out asking, well, what smells so good? What smells so good down here or up here? Yeah, that is true. You'd have nosy neighbors. But yeah. Here's the pizza. My husband's probably going to be on his way home from work soon. I'll probably give this to him. I'll put it back in the toaster for a few more minutes, maybe one more minute, just so the cheese melts a little bit more. And yeah, that is what we have here. The Bear fan is like the grandma that has the pie cooling in the window. True. If she has a pie cooling in the window, everyone's knocking on her door, right? That's why all the animals came to bother Snow White, isn't it? Because she was cooling a pie in the window? No, I think they came to bother her because she needed help. So, I'm kidding. But, yeah. So, getting back to business. I told everyone before what we're doing next week, but I'll just remind everyone that on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing my midweek toast thing. I'm not sure what we're doing now because I had an idea, but then I think I just had another idea today of what to do. So we might end up doing something even better than my original idea. Don't you like when that happens? Thank you guys for giving me ideas. It might have been my ramblings that gave me an idea, but you guys helped me. We were shooting off each other, So I'll let you know. What I decide to do for Wednesday's stream. But it's going to be a midweek toast, which is where I just show you something that I make with the toast, with the bread that we made. It'll be the ciabatta, but I'll do something with the ciabatta. And I'm going to freeze it, so that way I'll show you also how good it is when you freeze it. I'm going to freeze it today, so that way it'll still be fresh on Wednesday. And then, let me know if you guys know what that's from. And then we will be making our chili oil focaccia. We'll be making our chili oil focaccia on Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to try to do the same thing we did today, in which we do the bake all on the same day. I think that would be nice. And I think for focaccia, it's similar to ciabatta, so I think it's doable. So I'm going to try to do kind of the similar schedule where we'll do like an 8 to 10 type thing, like a very short stream, and then I'll come back for a longer stream. That's the idea anyway. My sister won't be there next week, unfortunately, but you guys, dude, the Bear fan, what? Dude, oh, the Bear fan knows where that's from, basically. Thank you to Bear fan. If anyone else knows where it's from, let me know. But, yes. So 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then hopefully come back around noon and go until around 4 p.m. Maybe I'll show you another thing to do with it that day, a sandwich or something. I don't know. I'll brainstorm. You guys can help me. You guys can give me ideas in Discord if you want to. And if you have any ideas too about the summer, because the summer's coming up. For me, it starts in May. I know that's still spring, but that's the end of the semester. So that's only a month away. And I do want to switch things up. I want to, have something planned for when the bread is rising, something more planned. Um, like I said, maybe like reading a story or doing some grammar stuff, but like games, not. I don't want to make it too much like school, and which is why I'm asking for your feedback. And I want to do maybe instead of midweek toast, I'll do like another midweek bake or something more interesting, where we can, make something together on Wednesday as well, and not just chat. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any feedback on that. And you can let me know on Discord or even shoot me a message on Instagram, whatever it is. I'm going to put my socials in the chat now that I have the Nightbot stalking us. He's so creepy. But I have my YouTube there, I have Discord, I have Instagram, I even have Pinterest there. If you guys are on Pinterest, I'm on there too. If you're interested in the recipes, Pinterest is the place to go. I have to create a pin. That reminds me, I have to create a pin for the banana bread. I'll do that today or tomorrow, definitely. But yes, all the other pins are up there. So without further ado, do you guys have any questions or anything? Is everything clear from what I said? Another thing is I'm going to update my website with the ciabatta bread recipe. Every week, whatever we make, if it's not already on the website, I add it to the website. Yeah, I'm getting all twitchy. That's how I'd call it, the bear fan. I'd call it getting all twitchy. So yeah, I am. I'm getting all twitchy. My sister helped me with that, with the Nightbot. He's lurking. He's stalking us at all times. You like it, the bear fan? I don't know. I kind of like it when I don't know what's going on sometimes. I think it's kind of fun. It's kind of like you never know what's happening. You never know what's going to happen. But now we know what's happening, and what's happening is the Nightbot is watching us. Okay? No, you can use the commands too. But the commands are just basic. It's just, I think if I do commands, it comes up. Let me see. Oh, it just says that. Oh, that's a weird thing for it to say. Whatever. Yeah, but it should work for you too. It should. So if you type in, for example, !Instagram or YouTube, it should come up with a link. So basically the bands are just basic. They're just my socials. So it's just Instagram, Discord, YouTube, and I think I have a website and Pinterest, and then socials. And then I also have the question of the day, which is QOTD. Yeah, I understand the bear fan why you're asking. I was just telling you what the commands were. They're basic right now. Maybe I'll add some fun ones later. I know my sister has a lot of fun commands, but right now I just added the basic ones, and then later I can play around with it. But, start simple, start small, and then, gradually get there. But yes, thank you to Bear Fan. Thank you so much. So if everyone has everything sorted and I have everything sorted, let's raid John Wang, Chef John Wang. I make sure I spell his name right. So / be careful, this knife is here. Raid Chef John L-U. Let me make sure I spelled his name right. L-U. It sounds like John Wayne, yeah, but isn't it John Luang? Is that how you pronounce it? I might be pronouncing it wrong too. I believe he's Chinese, and I'm not Chinese, nor am I really familiar with, I know there's 2 Chinese languages. I'm not familiar with either of them. Okay, I think I spelled his name right. Let's see. yeah, so we're going to raid. And then I'm gonna stop the stream. So bye everyone. We'll see you soon.